Hey, hello everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much all for joining your first free class for the IT Help Desk Analyst Training Program. It's 6:10. We allowed some people to join in. There's still a bunch of people that's going to join in throughout the class, which is fine. Not a problem at all. But how I like to run my classes, I'll show you the thing. What you can expect from today's meetings also, or today's first class also, I'll tell you, and what are the things that we'll cover. Okay, we'll cover our first day class. That way you'll understand how this class is going. And I know some of you guys already have joined the class, but first introduction class, it's about how we like to run our class, what I expect from you as a student, and what you can expect from me as an instructor of this course. Okay, and I'll explain to you what is my background, why am I qualified to teach this course, and why is C Training is doing very good in this IT Help Desk Analyst Training Program, and what is the revisions we have taken to clarify this course. And I'm going to talk to you also about our 100% job guaranteed, our money back program as well. How does that work, and what are the things that you have to follow as a student? Okay. End of the day, this is all I tell everyone, right? Job does not land in your lap. You still have to do the hard work. You still have to search and everything, but we'll be there to help you push, and we'll be there to help you land a job. But you still have to do the equal amount of work. The terminology that we like to use in CTEC training center is we do 100%, but we expect you to do 200%. Okay, so that is an analogy that I want you all to put into mind. Before I start this course, I want to clarify and I tell this to everyone in the course as well. I hope you guys can all hear me. I have a wire tangling here. I've been running classes all morning, so my headset's almost dying. So that's the reason why I have to put on the wire to charge my headset. Okay, but nevertheless, the course, how we run is everything I'll show you, and how my qualifier and everything I'll show you. Okay, and nevertheless, the class starts on every Wednesday from 6 o'clock. So I'll give 5 minutes for everyone to get ready and start the class. But I expect you guys to join from home. And I'll go on through the rules and regulations of this course and what we cover in this course. Okay. Before we get started, I just wanted to say we can help you land a job. But if you have a doubt that you will land a job, I cannot help you to fix your doubt. Okay, that is on yourself. We've helped more than 60, 70 people this year itself, but they all came. We have taught over 120 students, 100 plus students this year. But out of 60, 70 people of them, we helped them land a job. But these are the people who continually push to train, push the job market, and attend an interview, and they followed us, right? So this course is not right course for anyone that is doubting if they can fall into IT job market. Okay, and we specifically focus on the IT Help Desk Analyst Training Program. And how this program goes is just that program, okay, just the role itself. It doesn't go beyond the program, it doesn't go less than the program itself, okay? So let's get started, and I will definitely give you all of you guys chance to ask me questions and ask any question in regards to the job market or how or what other agencies who we work with. Because we work with 10 different agencies. That's why this course is much more demanding right now. We just don't teach, right? We work with about 10 different agencies. That includes Robert Half, Recruiting in Motion, Compugen. There's AAA agencies. There's about 6 to 10 given the season itself. Okay, we work with these type of agencies to make sure to land your job. And when I go through this course, you'll understand how this course is designed. And I will definitely give you guys a chance to ask question before and after end of each sections. So we stick to the topic of it, okay? And I ask your questions. You'll have much more broader question you can ask at the end of the class. You can, if you want to ask any question, ask in the topic that we're talking about, okay? That way we stick to the topic, and then in the end, I'll give you any questions, a broad question time, okay, that you can ask question. All right, let's get started, guys. It's 6:15 right now. Let's get started. That way we can go on to our class, okay? All right, so who am I? What are my qualifications to teach this? Okay, I've been in IT for more than 12 years, more than 12 years since I know. I've been in the managerial role for about 8 years. Okay, so I've been an IT operations manager. I'm a director of IT operations, and also I am a chairman and a director of a cloud computing course in Durham College in Oshawa. Okay, that is my qualifications. I have PMP, I have ITILs, I have AZ 104, which is administration, MS 100, it's Office 365, identity and access management certifications. I also have Security Plus. I also have Network Plus and everything. But for me, for my role right now, I predominantly focus on PMP, ITIL, the management certifications. Okay, my goal of this my teaching and my level of teaching is how exactly I would train someone that's coming into IT first, and how I will make sure that they can strategically move up into IT. Okay, that is how it is. This I've been teaching this in the corporate level for the past 8 or 9 years, to train new coming employees and to train new or who wants to move up into the level. Okay, that is part of a manager role or director role in making sure to mentorship them and make them move up. Okay, the reason why this course was invented, it was invented because we saw a huge skill gap in people coming, finishing college, or don't have any IT level experience, but want to get into IT, but they don't know where to start. The biggest thing is about this course, the best thing is a lot of people who have completed this course, and I say 60 to 70 people this year itself, about 60, or I would say 40 to 50% of them does not have any sort of IT background, does not have any sort of IT educations. It's because we focus on the entry level role into IT. Okay, this course is to get into the entry level of IT. This is for anyone that wants to get into IT. Okay, this course might not be the right fit for you if you're already in IT and looking to move up. Okay, which is, I'm being very honest with you. I don't like lying, or I don't like telling people this is a possibility and this that's possibility. Okay, we're sticking to the basics of this course. This course is to get into IT. This is not a course that will get you advanced into IT. Okay, and we do not take any sort of let me be very clear here. We do not take any sort of commission for you to land a job. Okay, we do not say, okay, give us 10% from future. We do not do any of that type of thing. Even the agencies who we work with, they do not take any commission from you for landing a job. Okay, let me get that clear. You have to successfully complete this course. We will tell you two certifications that you have, two to three, depending on the market itself. The agencies will tell us usually within a month of you guys starting what are the certification you should be focusing on. And these certifications are anywhere from $100 to $200 for both of them, or one of them. Okay, but that certifications you have to get to be qualified to land a job in the job season. Okay, which is what we're focusing on. This course is predominantly 3 months long. You'll get 12 to 13 classes. The reason why I would say 12 is for sure, 13 or 14 classes, because if I find a subject is the class is not getting it, I'll repeat again. It's subject to my understanding, right? If I see that you guys will give an assignments too, if you guys do not do the assignments properly, or if you guys are failing in a quiz, I will extend the class for 1 or 2 weeks. You do not have to pay extra for that, but I just want to make sure you guys all thoroughly understand the subject what we talk about, rather than me just finishing the class. Okay, that is how I work. And I have been working in the Canadian Armed Forces for the 4 years as well. So I worked in the intelligence and cybersecurity realm. Okay, one of my qualifications is cyber intelligence officer. That is what I teach. Ethical hacking is my main teaching in corporate level or in the government sector as well. Okay, so that is my predominant levels of teaching that I do. That's why I'm qualified to teach this course. I think more than anyone, because I still currently hold industrial certifications, and I still work full time as well and I teach this. Right, I'm teaching you exactly what I would teach someone walking in the door of IT, or why I wouldn't choose a guy because they don't have this training. And I'll show you exactly the modules which we cover. And the certification which I talk about, I don't know yet. You have to complete this course at least 1 month. And depending on the report I get from the agencies who we work with, what are some of the certifications that you're currently looking for? They don't tell you to get the expensive certifications. Okay, we try to stick within the $75 to $100 mark as much as possible, so it's cost effective for you guys to land a job too. And usually this course goes for $500 a month. Okay, for 3 months, so it's 1,500. But usually what we do is we try to get government support, and we try to get sometimes government supports us from the local municipalities, or the agency support us from the government funding, right? So this time we were able to drop down the price to $375, I believe, down to a student per student for the first 10 students only. Okay, I'm just trying to uh, sorry, it's $350 per month. Okay, I'm sorry, $350 per month for 3 months, which is $1,050. Okay, you don't have to pay all up front. It's monthly you have to pay. Okay, the first cost is free. If you like it, you can go ahead and make the payment and join. And it's a 3 month course. This cost includes also job assistance and a job guarantee as well, as long as you follow the right step we tell you. And I'll tell you exactly what those are. Okay, all right. And we can talk about more about this in the next upcoming section. I'll give you guys a time where I will unlock all your mics. You guys can put up your hand on the Google Meet and ask questions. Okay. Right. Class discipline. For me, this is very important. I always say to everyone who comes into training, if you're not disciplined enough to properly put in dedicated time, if you cannot disciplinedly follow this class is not right for you. Okay, I am about discipline, and for me, discipline is everything. Okay, when I give you the time to class, join the class at 6 p.m. I will be here at 5:15. I would expect you to be here at 6 p.m. Okay, as I said, the agreement should go both ways. It should not just be okay. Whereas before we would have in person. Now for the past 4 batches this year we have done predominantly online, and it's very successful. That's the reason why we're keeping it as online. Okay. And usually after 6:10, I close the class so nobody can come in when we actually do the class. You have to be here on time. So I request that you guys do too. I don't mind you guys missing 1 or 2 classes throughout the thing, but if you miss more than 3 classes, then we have a problem. Okay, it's because you cannot follow the class along just by recording. The recording is there to supplementally help you, not as a main focus point. Okay, I hope that's clear. So this has been slightly changed in current structures, but I'll tell you predominantly this how it is. Okay, the total in class hour is 40 hours. You'll get assignments up to 20 hours. Okay, which is you have to do on your own, or you can do it as a collaborative team here. Okay, with the team. It's about approximately 20 hours of assignments throughout the course. Okay, which if you think about it, we'll be here for 12 to 13 weeks. If you do the math, it becomes about you know it becomes about 1.5 hours worth of assignments. These assignments are to get you into using the online cloud services and to understand the IT, how IT mindset work and everything, right? So this is very important. And you have 5 hours worth of quizzes throughout the courses, just to make sure. This is not about marking for me about quizzes, okay? But I ask everyone to do the quizzes. It's to understand your level of proficiency in subjects we talk about, okay? It's to make sure that you can manage to do the course and you will be successful. It's not about me if I'm teaching well or anything. It's about you. Are you understanding the subject? Sometimes for some people, the course might be slightly doesn't click. This is what I tell everyone. You guys are paying me individually, okay? I have the I should be able to, if one of you guys does not understand, if Rachana does not understand one of the subjects, she has to, he or she has to reach, tell me, hey, I don't understand this. And I have the, I have to have the thing to make sure that they understand it too, right? So individual student must understand each of the subject. If they don't, you have to make the voice up, right? You have to ask, I don't get it, I don't understand, okay? But I will answer you until you get it. Or I will schedule another time, one-on-one time, as much as needed to take you out to the class to explain to you. But I will most likely will try to get it in the class so you guys all can see what are the different types of analogies that we use to make sure you understand, okay? That is the course structure and how we work. For me, it's not about just completing the course itself. It's about making sure you understand, okay? Completely understand, not just understand, completely understand the subject what we cover. So what you can expect from me as an instructor of CTEC Training Center is a clear explanation for all course content, okay? Whatever I cover, I will not tell you that this is not needed, I don't know, I cannot, I don't understand this or anything like that. Even if I don't, I have to make sure that I learn it and tell you the next time. If I don't know something, there's not everything that I know because cloud evolves pretty much every day. What I taught 3 months ago has slightly changed now. So for me, sometimes something changes. I might tell you, hey, I'm going to write this down. I will either email you guys all whatever you ask through a video recording or screen recording or email, or I'll follow up with you guys in the next class. So I have to do that as a promise to you guys, okay, when you guys join as a student. And well-structured, breaking down all the modules into courses, and I use the same methodology how they taught us in the military, okay? So it's called a waterfall methodology where you learn from the basics to down. That's how this course is designed. You do not have to have any experience in IT. We have taught over 50 students who has not touched a cloud service and doesn't know anything about IT. We start from the very, very basics, okay? As long as you show up at 6 o'clock with the attitude of learning, 6 to 9, you're here paying attention with me, you will learn definitely, okay? That is my duty to you, okay? And 2 to 3 personalized mentorship sessions during the course. Why I say 2 to 3 is sometimes we may not have enough time to get to everyone for the third time, but I at least will have two, or I ask you to request me to have 2 or 3. Okay, this is to make sure not everyone is the same. Okay, I cannot use a cookie cutter to give you guys each all rounded same answer. Sometimes you might want to ask me a different question. You might have a wish that you go into networking, right? But you might not know how to go there. I will be the best road for you to ask me. You can schedule it. It's completely free. It's part of your course as well. You can book this throughout the year anytime too, and you can talk to me about where you want to go, what type of certification, what type of path, what type of things you should be taking. This 2 to 3 is part of this course, but after that too, I encourage you. I'll share you my calendar. You guys can book your meetings with me anytime, 30-minute slots, and we can have a conversation, right? About what you can do next, or if you're having some sort of problem at work, manager issue, or some sort of political issue inside work, we can definitely talk, and I'll give you some pointers what you can do to fix this. I've been there, done that, and crossed it, so I know exactly what to do in a corporate environment. Okay. What we do is there is no way even a public college cannot cover 100% of the course, okay, our skills and knowledge. We can only cover 50 to 60%, which is a significant amount of coverage if you think about it in the next 12 to 14 weeks, okay? As I said, 12 to 14 weeks, it depends. Sometimes we might have to extend it by 2 weeks, okay? You don't have to pay for that. That is part of, I want to make sure you guys understand it. That's the reason why, okay? But this will help you to get you onto the member certifications I told you that we'll focus on. You will have to do the certification to get that other 40% knowledge, which is part of your learning you have to do. What I tell all the students is from the time today, you guys should be putting in at least 1 or 2 hours per day to improve the skills in IT, which I'll tell you exactly what to do from next class to what you should be studying on, what you should be focusing on. And so by the time you complete the course in 12th or 14th week, you will be ready to do the job, okay? If you don't do the work from today or from next class, it'll be very hard for you and you get pushed along, okay? So I encourage you, set up your calendar so you have 2 hours, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night, or something like that, every day to predominantly focus just on your career improvements or how do you actually land into IT. I know some of you guys have already completed IT course, some of you have not, some of you have. I think some of you guys, as you know, mentioned that you guys have experience, which is totally fine, not a problem at all. But still put in 2 hours a day, 1 or 2 hours, it depends on how busy your schedule is, just to focus on your career improvements, okay, which is very important for you. Okay. If I feel like the class needs extension, as I said, at no additional cost, I will extend it to make sure that the class, I want to make sure that the understanding level of the class is 85%. 85% is very high, okay, which is my standard. Usually in public college, they say 75% of the class average is a very good average, but for me, I like to keep it 85 because this is what I call a precision focus, okay? We're not focusing on anything else. We're just focusing on one role, which is IT help desk analyst role. So for me to make sure I'm satisfied with your learning is I want to make sure you're at 85% mark, which is what the assignments and the quizzes will do. And for me, I'm being very honest with you right now. If I give you a quiz or assignment, when the date is due, they're due. And I will never give you an assignment today and expect you to be done by tomorrow. I'll give you a week long. I don't care what the circumstances are. The assignments are due. I don't care what the circumstances for the quiz. The quiz is due. There is no extension. There is no, I don't do that unless you have a very, very valid reason. Then we can consider it. But I cannot extend the assignment because at workplace too, you cannot expect leniency. Okay, leniency is one of the worst thing I can do to you to make sure you improve. Anything I say or I do to you, if you want, you can take it personally and you can hate me. But end of the day, the way how I teach and how I make sure these leniency is not there, it's to help you to be successful. Okay, if you take that, that'll be very beneficial for you. Okay. Note from me, there will always be something new to learn from both you and me. I may not have all the answers, but I promise to give it my best and effort to help you find them. I said sometimes I may be like, hey man, I don't know. Last time I taught this, it was something else. Azure, I can send you some recording, which I will do. You'll see when you follow the recording, the buttons have completely changed somewhere else. It is very normal in a cloud environment. Okay, everything what we call is um, agile method of changing things. It's changes on the fly. Okay, everything goes very quickly. Everything changes very quickly. We're on that, the act like a startup phase in IT right now. So everything changes pretty much overnight, right? So some things I might not know, but I will definitely get back to you on it. As I said, that's my promise to you as a student when you join to learn from me. Okay. What I expect from you too. So yeah, we saw what you expect from me, but what I expect from you is 200% dedication, aim to learn, aim to land an IT level one job, okay? Entry level job or IT job, okay? Be willing to give maximum effort to complete every task, not just start it, but follow through to finish. So when I mean by finish is you completely understand you finish a task, not just for doing for sake of doing. There's a difference and you'll know it, okay? And your cautious will tell you that you're not learning, you're just doing for the sake of doing. Don't do that. You have to do it with the passion, you have to do it with the love, and those are the people who will start successful, okay? Ask question during class. No question is too small. I always tell this to class, every class. I do not consider any question a stupid question. Okay, I do not consider that. I do not consider any question a small question. I will treat every question with the importance and as how dedicated I am to every question, to any questions. Okay, and whoever asks the question. For me, all questions I have to answer, I have to answer to you to my best of knowledge. Okay, that is my promise to you. Do not be late to class. Respect the schedule of everyone's time, right? So do not be late to the class and come in and ask questions. Join in early, stay joined, okay? And I say join from your home or somewhere you can have stable connections. The class is recorded, but I suggest that join while you're there and interact with the class. It's honestly speaking, end of the day, if you be quiet and you don't ask question, you're not gonna. If you have any question, you might as well open your mouth and ask it because you're paying me too, and and I'm putting the time in too, right? So you have the courtesy to ask any questions you want, and I have the thing to make sure that I answer your question. Okay, if you're running late, let's say 30 to 60 minutes in advance. Okay, if you're running late for a class, let's say our class is 6 p.m. If you know you're going to be late, I ask that you message me at least 30, 60 minutes. The email to the whole group is that, hey, team, I'm going to be late by 30, 60 minutes, whatever, however long my ETA, just so that everybody knows, treat this like a team. If you're joining the IT team, if you're going to be late, your team is depending on you. You need to let them know you're going to be late, okay? The 6 to 9 p.m. that you're going to join with me, treat this like a workplace. But so you're being proactive. If you're going to be late, you tell us, 30, 60 minutes ago, you're going to be late. If you cannot attend today, tell us you cannot attend, right? You don't have to give a reason. That's not matter, but it's being prominent and it's being very team focused mentality, right? And you're being very courtesy of other people too. If you don't email me at 30 minutes, the least is 30 minutes. If you don't email me and you join back after 6:30, the class will be closed. You cannot come back in. Okay, it's that's how we run this class. It's keeping the discipline of the class and to make sure that nobody's disturbing no one. Okay, and this has been very successful for us for the past 4 class. And trust me, within a month, 2 or 3 people fall off because just they cannot put in the discipline enough. Okay, for me, as I said, discipline is very important for me. So I expect everyone to follow that if you want to be successful in here. Okay. So you have to join from your computer or phone, as this is a live thing. I ask that you join from your computer as much as possible. At some cases, you might have to join from your phone. Maybe you're just parking or something like that, which is totally fine. Webcam is optional. Before 4 classes ago, webcam was a mandatory, so you have to have your webcam turned on. But now we're being a little bit more lenient and saying the webcam is optional. Okay, mic's muted unless you want to ask question or you were asked question. Okay, you can unmute yourself and talk. For this meeting, I think it's set up so it's automatically mutes everyone for now. I will unlock it. Just give me until I allow you guys to talk, so that way you guys can all ask questions about the things that we have talked right now. Okay. Upcoming holidays, I'll usually post them well ahead of time so you guys know. My holidays, I try to make sure that I does not affect you. I'm here and I'm dedicated for the Wednesday for the 12 to 14 weeks to you guys. So I try to make sure my holidays does not affect you or I work around it. But in God forbidden something happens, emergency, I just fall too ill. I will give you guys a notice at least one day before or in the morning, so I don't waste your time as well. Okay, your time is very important for me. My time is also very important for me, right? So I will teach you with the utmost respect, and I ask the same thing in back. So if I'm going to be away, I will at least, at the minimum, I'll let you guys know 2 to 3 hours before or in the morning, saying, hey, I'm not feeling well, I cannot even get off the bed, which is very rare, trust me. Unless something happens, it's very very rare. I think in the 6 7 years of me running classes, I'm probably I had to cancel like 3 or 4 classes per year. That's about it. Okay. And my schedule is pretty busy, so I try to be very proactive and respecting everyone's time. I pretty much wake up around 5:30, 6 a.m. I go to sleep around 10 p.m. Right? So, but my day is busy. But I will still respect your time and let you know if I cannot make it to the class. I'll let you know in the morning or at the last 3 to 4 hours before. Okay, just so you guys know and you guys can plan your day around. Just so I respect your time too. So this is like old timing for, but this is not the timing here. Okay, in absence. So maximum of 3 days off allowed for this entire course. Okay. The reason why, if you think about it, which is only we only have 12 to 14 days, 14 weeks, right? So it's 12 to 14 classes they'll have. If you take 3 off, you'll pretty much fall so off the board. And if you come in, if you cannot make it to 3 classes and come in to ask the question on this on another class, it disturbs the class, right? So I ask, you'll have the recording, watch it, and email me if you need to be away. Email me or send me a voice note on WhatsApp. You guys all should be joining the WhatsApp group that you guys should have gotten in the email. You guys can put a voice note to ask myself or your team. And when I say after this class, I would consider you guys as a team, is because I don't like to use the language student. I want you guys to change the mentality from this being a course to a training for your workplace. And I will treat you guys the same way. I will act like a manager, and you guys will act like a teammates. Okay, and we're all a team. It's not there's no superior or anything here, so we're just all a teammate. Okay. Students are not allowed to record the sessions. I will have the recording, and I will give you guys access to the recording. Okay. Recording may be provided for limited time viewing. What we say is up to 3 to 6 months of completing the course. 6 months is what we agreed on with the agencies as well. It's because this course is not just designed myself. It's been designed and approved by the agencies every time when we run it, just to make sure we stay up to date with the current market, and we give you the most amount of value for this course as well, right? There's no point of giving you a 100% job guarantee if the course is well off the job market right now. So it gets we work with the agency to create this. It gets approved by 3 or 4 agencies, the big guys, and then we will teach it. Okay, right. Student note: all student must keep a detailed notes. You should be taking class notes. Notes are required as a part of the final submission for each module. I will ask them, usually not each module. I'll ask you guys to send me your notes at the end of the 12th week. I'll be like, hey, can you guys all send me your notes? I want to see if you guys are actually participating in the class and taking notes, because the notes are going to be your Bible, pretty much. So when you go into workplace or something like that, if somebody asks you, how do you do onboarding, or how do you do this Intune work, or Office 360 work, well, you should have already covered it, onboarding for Intune or onboarding for Office 365. You should be able to easily go through it and say, this is what the process is, right? It's to help you. And I want to make sure that this is a very, very important skill in IT right now that it's getting neglected, is because of note taking and also documentation. That is what the important thing in IT right now. And that is what this note taking does. It's documenting your work so you can follow it again and recreate the same scenario again, right? So that is what we mainly focus on, okay? And it's very, very important for IT analysts. It's pretty much your Bible to go to. Okay, you might have in the workplace when you go, they might already have a notes, and you might be adding on top of it, right? But it's important that you know how to write notes. There is no right or wrong way, but I will give you a structure where you can follow to do them. Okay. Student must complete all assignments. So you'll be given assignments throughout these courses. Once we start going into hands-on and everything, you'll have assignments, and all assignments are due. And as I said, no extension for any reason unless they're very, very valid reasons. Okay, I'm not a rude guy, or I'm not a very heartless guy, but um, if you tell me I can't do it, I have too much work, I don't accept that. There's been days I had to do work for my work, like work. I couldn't take a sleep for 2 days. It's because of my job role, right? You have to take it serious. If you actually take it serious, the assignment does not take more than 3 4 hours. It could even take 8 hours, but it's the dedication you put in. You have 5 to 7 days to complete them. So you can't tell me in the 5 to 7 days you couldn't spare, 5 hours in the 5 to 7 days. You have to try fitting it in. You might not sleep the day. Well, we have to suck it up and go on with the day, right? That's how it works in the real world. So let's treat it like a real world. That way you'll survive in the real world. Okay. And if you need help, if the assignment is due on Wednesday is usually when your classes are. Before we start the class, I say the assignment is due. If the assignment was due on Wednesday, if you come back to me on Tuesday evening and tell me I couldn't do the assignment, I would not even reply back to you. That assignment still be considered due, and you'll be considered 0 mark. Okay. Being very honest with you, you have to at least be proactive and ask for help 2 or 3 days before. If you just do a day before, there is no way you're going to get that done. Okay. But if you hand it in just 1 hour before the class, I'm okay with it. But if you ask for help 24, like less than 24 hours before the class, I will not even reply to you. Okay. Quizzes. As I said, there'll be 5 quizzes in total. You have to at least score 80%. I've never in the 4 batches or 10 batches we have run throughout the 3 years in the past too. I have never seen like almost 90% of the course and 95% of the course will get 90, 95%. Okay. There's absolutely no way you'll get below 80%. And if you do, I will reach out to you. But by the time you look at it, you'll see, okay, this I don't understand. I expect you to reach out to me, say, hey, Atavan, I don't understand this, man. There's something that is disconnected. I'm not sure. That's fine. I will connect with you. I will work with you to make sure you understand these, and I'll make sure that you can pass a quiz. But you have to put in the effort to reach out to me and tell me that you don't understand this, right? That's what I would expect from you. Okay. Job guarantee includes resume preparation, requirements, project works, and course certifications. Okay, but I'll go through the job guarantee how it works just down the slides. Okay. Table of content. There's sorry. Okay, so there's about 9 modules that we cover in this total course. Okay, the one is IT fundamentals. We cover from the basics to whatever it is in IT. Okay, so from the team to what type of we even give you introduction. What is an IT? What you can expect when you walk into an IT department, or when you apply, where are you going to land, and what are the roles in IT? What are the teams in IT? What does each team does? How does hierarchical work in IT? So by the time you finish module 1, you will have a very clear vision on what is an IT team, what do they do, how do they work, what type of things they do to make sure the company works. What is an IT? We teach you that, okay? And then we go into the next module, which is networking basics. This course is not designed to make you a system admin, network admin, or anything to admin, okay? This is for the IT help desk analyst course. This is what we'll cover, okay? We'll cover anything to do with network basics. We'll teach you what you need to troubleshoot them. We'll teach you everything that you need to know as an IT help desk analyst for a networking job, okay? And we'll also teach you cybersecurity for the IT help desk analyst job, because you need to know cybersecurity as well. So this will cover the basics of cybersecurity. What is a threat? How does it work? What is the password policy? What are some of the attacks that's very common in the IT environment? What is an endpoint security? Identity and responsibility of phishing attacks, data protection and compliances. What are those? Right? We cover that. Each module will have its assignment. Each module will have its quiz. Okay, so that's how we understand. So once we cover this, think of this as like the hamburger burger, right? The first is the bun. We get the basics out of the way, okay? And then once we've done the basics, we go jump into the hands-on work, okay? Which is Microsoft Azure. For this module as well, for this batch, we've been approved to teach Microsoft Azure, which is, for the past 2 batches, we have taught Microsoft Azure. And then previous to that, we taught AWS. And then even before that, I think last 2 years, 2 batches was GCP, Google Cloud Platform. It depends on the trend, okay? That's how the agency approves it. So this time it's Azure. So we teach you everything you need to know as a help desk analyst Azure, okay? By the time you complete this module and go on next module, you would have mastered how do you navigate into Azure for your job role. You'll know how user account creation, onboarding, offboarding, position change. If somebody's coming into the work, how does it work? How do you troubleshoot the issues in Azure? If they tell you, hey, I can't log into my computer or anything like that, you will know where to go, what to do, what type of things you can look for to solve the problem. Okay. The next is Office 365 and MDM, which is Microsoft Office 365. You learn all about it, how to provision licensing, how do you assign license, how do you remove license, same onboarding, offboarding, how does that work? You'll see Microsoft Teams, SharePoint basics. You'll see mobile device management, Intune. You'll see how that works, overview of it. You'll see how everything fits into Microsoft environment, basically. Okay. So by the time you complete Azure and Microsoft Module 4 and 5, you would have mastered about 60% of your role, okay? 60 to 65% of your role in IT help desk analyst role, which will make you much more successful, okay? The next is module 6, which is the biggest portion of this course. It's a troubleshooting and support technique. Anybody can know how to create an account. Anybody can know how to delete an account, but it's asking the right question at the right time to the right user. End of the day, the user does not need to know anything, okay? But we train you on what type of questions you can ask for. We have something called STQ, standard technical questioning that we teach you. And this is works on a waterfall method, right? And this is what they will expect you to explain in the interview. So we will make sure to embed it into your brain. You will never forget this, okay? That's how the training level goes here. We'll tell you what are the troubleshooting steps you need to take for Windows and Mac OS. What are the troubleshooting steps you need to take for printers and peripheral device issues, common software errors and fixes. Okay, we'll teach you all of that. And we'll also teach you how does remote support work, remote desktop protocol. We teach you all of that. Okay, how does it work? How do you actually troubleshoot while you are somewhere else, right? Because let's be very frank, even though you might be working in an office, you'll do everything through remote support. Okay, you need to know how to support users using remote support, which is some of the key skills right now is missing in the market as well. So we'll teach you all of that. Okay, by the time you complete module 6, you would be a very good technician and analyst. The difference between technician and analyst is how they think, and that is why this module 6 is very important. We train you from a technician to an analyst. Okay, and that's what gives you the mindset about asking the right question and figuring out what the issue is. Okay, that is module 6, and then we teach you all of this. We teach you ITIL framework. So what is an ITIL? We teach you how does it actually flows into an IT. Why is ITIL is part of a very important part of an IT? How does it help management to look at ITIL and see, okay, my department is running efficiently, running properly, right? So we'll teach you all of that and how the ITIL has its own methodology on how to troubleshoot. We'll teach you all of that, okay? There's something called incident management, problem management, change management. We'll teach you all of that, okay? What are those for your specific role? We'll teach you what are those, what your roles will be in each one of those incident management, problem management, change management. How would you fit into that roles, and what are things you need to understand and do to make sure be successful in landing a job? Okay, and documentation and knowledge based creation is part of your notes. Okay, note taking, that is what the ITIL framework teaches you. It's documentation and knowledge based, which is what we teach you from day 2. We teach you how to do documentation, which is what the class will start on day 2 with the documentation. Okay, and then we go on to the next lesson. So you would have to create that, and you have to keep your documentation, which is what we call in IT as your own Bible that you create. Okay, and module 8, which is what a lot of people are missing now, is a ticketing system. Okay, if you go into any job in Indeed right now, they would ask you to have some sort of understanding of ticketing system. It doesn't matter whatever ticketing system they ask, as long as you have a hands-on experience with the ticketing system, you'll be successful because all ticketing system works on the same basics of ITIL framework. Okay, that's what we focus on. We give you a live ticketing system. We have live issues that you go and resolve, and you actually put in notes and you send the customer. You wait for reply and everything. Okay, so you will have a very good understanding and work understanding of ITIL for a ticketing system, which you can put in your resume. Now, by the time you complete 1 to 8, you will already be a very good, proficient IT analyst, not a technician analyst. Okay, that is the difference, and you'll be ready for the job market. This is where we help you to do resume building, interview preparation, mock interview, and real world scenario. And we will give you some jobs that you need to apply for. Okay, which is you will have to apply for it. As I said, we do not push your resume from we do not say, okay, hire this guy, hire this guy. That's not how this works. You still have to apply. You still have to attend the interview. You still have to talk to them. Okay, have the very good understanding. All the agencies we work with, they are legally bounded, and they cannot take any money, or they cannot solicitate other workplaces. Okay, which is very important. Um, Now, how our 100% job guarantee works is, as I said, we work with 6 to 10 different agencies depending on the season itself. But we predominantly work with Robert Half, Motion and Recording, Compugen, F12. There's also there's another one called Texas, and there's another one who we work with. But the main 4 guys are Robert Half, Motion Recording, F12, and Compugen. These 4 guys to make sure that you land your job. But they would give you a job. You still have to update your resume and apply to it, and you'll have to attend the interview. Okay, in the interview, because you're going into entry level job, which what's what they'll give you, you'll have a slight edge into going in the interview, but you still have to make sure that you are proficient enough to do the job. That's what they'll check, and you'll understand the topic. The jobs what we tell you to apply are when you see on Indeed what you apply, because we encourage you. You need to apply for at least minimum of 5 to 10 jobs per month by yourself as well. We'll give you, but you need to start applying as well, just so you understand the job hunt. We tell you what to look for. We will give you some too. But you have to do the certification, which we tell you to do by the time you complete the course, or just slightly after the completion of course, which is fine. Not a problem at all. There's some people from the January of this year, which we started. They have just completed the certification last 2 months ago. Some people have landed in Service Ontario. Some people have landed in healthcare. Some people have landed in a lot of people have landed in the CNBC TV market. Okay, but they have to complete a certification. They have attended the interview and they have gotten the job, right? And these are entry level jobs, so they're not looking for too much of a work related experience, but they want to have experience in each of the things. And we'll tell you exactly how you should be putting resumes and what you should be doing in an interview and how you should be entering an interview. Okay, as long as we follow our steps, I will ask you to record the interview on your phone, just so I can hear them and see what are some of the mistakes you have done. Okay, so I'll ask you to record the interview and send it to me on WhatsApp. I'll listen to it. You have to listen to it too before you send it to me, at least a couple of times. Don't listen to it the same day. I suggest you do the interview. The next day you listen to it, in the morning, one in the evening, or one at night, 2 to 3 times, and then send them to me with the things you tell me what you think about it. You think you're going to get a job, or if you have did some mistake, to tell me these are the things I think I should improve on, and I can work with you to make sure that you improve on the next interview. Okay. It's always at one interview. It's very rare that somebody goes into first interview and land a job, but usually after the second or third interview they land a job. That's how the trend has been. But as I said, you have to actively apply as well, right? It's on your hand too. We do 100%, you do 200%. Okay. The job market currently, it's not like the job just comes and lands in your lap. You have to do the work as well. But as I've seen people who do their work, who's very dedicated, who's very focused, they land a job. And I've seen people also they expect everything to land on a job lap, they don't get a job, right? So it's a two-sided coin. You have to choose your one. Okay. But as I said, you have to do 200% work to land a job in this market right now. I'm being very honest with you. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna just unlock the mic. Please put up the hand in the thing, and you can ask your question about anything we have covered. Okay. And then at the end of the class, I'll give you time to ask a general question as well. Okay, you guys can go ahead and raise your hands, and one by one, let's ask your question, please, or anything we have covered so far. Go ahead. Go ahead. Just please pronounce your name, please.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Mhm. Yeah, go
Sir,
ahead.
I have been looking around for IT help desk positions. I
Yep.
have a software developer background, but the current market is pretty bad. So I was looking for IT jobs as well.
Mhm.
But I've seen like most of them are asking for 5 years of experience. So
Mhm.
how is the job market for entry level right now?
Yeah. So, okay, that's a very good question. So how it works is this: there is this big job speed throughout the months or throughout the year. Okay. So the report we got from job agencies is because they get the first jobs for this, especially the entry level jobs, they get the first hints because a lot of companies don't want to waste money on them just hunting, right? So they just give it to the agencies to go ahead and find the thing. They will post them on their network, which they have told us September to November is going to be a big job spree coming up. So that's when the job spree is happening, right? So usually the agency you work with, they will get you some links to apply, which will be a very entry level job, which is very easy to get in. As I said, but it's easy meaning as long as you do your work, as long as you talk properly and you understand the concept properly, as long as you're able to go in and sit with the confidence, you'll get a job.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Rachana. Rachana.
Hey, hi, how are you
Okay.
doing today?
Good. 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 How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks for asking. So, similarly, even I have an experience back in India for three
Mhm.
years. I have worked as a Linux system administrator,
Very nice.
and even I have a Red Hat certification. So, just have a quick question. Like after getting trained for this course, like, will there be any possibilities for you to assist me um, to get job based on my experience?
Okay, that's a very good question. So I'm going to give you a very honest answer, okay? And don't take me wrong. It's not about your skill or anything
No
like that.
problem.
And this is just in the market. And trust me, I have the person I just said who landed a Service Ontario job. She had about 7 or 8 years of experience in IT as administrator, right? But back in India and back home. But because the relevancy of the reference is not valid here, it doesn't consider as a work experience here. Okay, so what I suggested her was, which worked out to be wonderful for her. She got a very good package in Service Ontario. She started off as a entry level into IT, services analyst. Services analyst. She's doing very well right now. But in 6 months, 7 months, because she's already in, she either will have the option of moving up into Service Ontario or out because now she has a very good reference point, right? Outside country reference point is very hard to validate. That's what I've seen here with the current market. If you have asked this question to me 3 or 4 years ago, I would say, yeah, definitely you can get it. We'll work on it, definitely get it. But right now, because of the trend right now, it's very hard to get into the market just with the outside the country experience. Being very honest and very giving you very modest answer.
Yeah, thanks for that.
No problem.
And one more question.
Mhm.
I know it's too early to ask. Like what you said, like recently many of your students have been placed. Like what was their like average package they have been landing on?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we see the trend. Okay, so right now the trend is I would say anywhere from the last 60 students that has landed a job in the current year. Okay, and I don't know if 100. I never seen their the job offer, right? But I'm just going off with the word they have told me. Some people have landed a 54,000 a year. The one that landed in Service Ontario, she got for 65,000 a year. That is what the average salary for an entry level role in the IT help desk.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
And one question, sorry, I'm asking two
No, no,
questions in
go ahead.
very
Yeah.
currently, I'm working at a company where I have in rotational shifts. Luckily,
Mhm,
today I got to swap my shift early just to attend this class.
mhm.
But going forward for next 2 weeks, I can adjust my class. Like okay, before to that, like may I know like are there any fixed timings for the classes? It's already been scheduled, or are you still working on the timings for the classes?
No, it's not even scheduled. It's every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. But here's the thing, right? I know life goes on. Everybody has to go to work to eat here, right? That's how it is here in Canada, especially this time of the year, this couple of years. So I suggest if you cannot make it to the class because of work, just email to the group saying that, hey, I'm working today's shift. Try to best manage it. But let's be very realistic, right? As long as you can watch the video, and if you have any questions, send it to me the same day or the next day through an email or voice note. I would say communication should be through email, just so we keep it like a workplace professional. But as long as that, people are here to help you and to make sure you're successful, right? I'm not here to say you cannot go to work. Of course, you have to go to work. You have to make a payment. You have to eat, right? So, but be proactive on participating in class as much as you
Okay, got you. That
can. Okay.
was really helpful. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no problem. Anyone else? Any question, guys? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi. My question is very similar to Rachna's question. After working as a help desk analyst, what are the career paths? Starting from here, what are the different career paths that we can go to this role?
Okay, so that's a good question too. You guys are all asking good questions. So the thing is, when you go into help desk analyst, um, oh shit. Okay, sorry. I'll show you here is because you're exposed to pretty much all rounds of IT. Okay, we say the IT help desk, the entry level, it's a catch-all. You're there to filter and put in everything, right? So you'll have pretty much slightly hands-on experience every single role in IT, all the technical roles. Okay, networking, cybersecurity, server side, Microsoft 365, Azure. You can choose to specialize in any of them. And you might like networking now, you might like cybersecurity now, but trust me, when you go into work, you might be like, oh my god, I didn't like this. I like this one instead, right? I know there's a lot of people who came into loving networking. They want to do CCNA, and I told them just join this class first. Don't spend your money on CCNA yet. When they went through it, and when they actually landed a job, they actually hated networking, but they loved server side, and vice versa. Some people like server, but they love networking after going to the job. It changes, right? But because you're in help desk, you have a very broad spectrum of growth. You can choose to specialize into one area, which your imagination or your hard work is your limit. To be honest, as long as I said, but as long as your company allows you to, or you have the option of moving out, getting some certification. And usually, what I tell is, once you enter in your first level, level one IT job, have your companies will start paying you to do your certifications. You don't have to pay to do your certifications. All my certifications, all my PMP exams, all my ITIL exam, my company paid for it. And one of the benefits you get from your company paying for is because they have to justify paying for certification is allowing you to work with someone else on the same role, right? So you get hands-on training as well. Let's say you get, after 1 year, they give you $1,000 to spend on certifications. You get a couple of certification from approval from them, and you get to work on networking or server side. They allow you to work on networking server side, right? Through with someone. Obviously, they're not going to hand you over server and be like, hey, here, configure it, go nuts, right? But as long as they allow you to work on it, now you have hands-on experience, right? Let's say something forbidden happens, they cannot put you into a server-side role. Just because you have a certification does not mean that you will be able to, go to the role. Okay, let's be very frank here. That's how this world works. I wish because you get a certification, you get a job, but that's not how this world works. Okay, but you get hands-on experience slowly, right? If your company does not allow you to, now you have option of moving out. Now you have a 1 year, 1.5 years of experience in IT as a level one. You also have, certifications which you got 6 months ago, and you got hands-on training. Now, when you go out, you have much more variety of options, and which is much more easier for you to convince other people, right? Be like, hey, the reason why I'm getting out is because I wasn't able to, move on my career, and I'm just doing it for my sake of career. It's nothing to do with the company, right? End of the day, you cannot bash talk the company who is helping you, but it gives you the option to go out and get the, actual job you love. But it's your imagination, your hard work is your limit. Okay.
Thank you so much. That was such a good
Yeah.
answer. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else, guys? Yeah, and I tell even in this course too, I tell you guys, even the certifications we ask you to get, they're fundamentals, okay? And there's a strategy behind getting fundamentals. It's because nobody wants to hire for entry level role who has an administrative certifications. To be honest, very honest, right? When I hire for my companies, I hire about sometimes 3 or 4 guys for entry level, and when I see someone who has the Azure administrator or AWS administrator or GCP administrator with no experience, what it tells me is this: from a managerial standpoint, I'm just going to tell you, okay, this person's going to come in, they're going to stick here for 6 months, maybe 1 year, and they're going to jump out just to grab the experience, right? Like if you think about it, right, for like a mid-sized corporation to hire you, right, there's an HR working in the background. There's an IT team working in the background to create your account. There's onboarding personnel who's working in that thing. There's a reference check they paid for, right? They paid for probably a criminal offense check, right? So all of this combined, it costs a company about $15,000 to $25,000 to hire you in, plus your salary they paid you, right? So as a manager, for me, I need to calculate ROI, return on investment. So I think of you when I hire you as an investment for me. Okay, I need you to stick with me at least for 2 years or more. That's when I can make back the money that I spend on you. That's how it works. There's a budget, right? But if there's a person who's coming in with a Azure administrative license, he has no working experience, right? There's no way he'll have a realistic real life experience just getting an administrative license, although he has that thing. But what he'll do is, this is what happens in the trend right now too, is they'll come in, work for a year, and they'll jump out just with the license, right? But if you go in there with a fundamental, I know the person has the enthusiasm to learn. They love this, but they'll stick with me at least 1 or 2 years to learn this and then get the certification. And of course, everybody's gonna either I have to make sure they have a linear growth, which is inside the company, go up, right? Or there'll be a horizontal growth, which is outside the company, what we call. There's a linear and horizontal. So that is why there's a strategy behind the certification we tell you to get, and we expect you. If you have anything more, don't show it. Don't show it. That's it. It doesn't give you qualification on landing a job, anyways. Okay. Sometimes some certifications will hurt you, so you don't have to list them, and we tell you exactly what to do and what not to do. Okay. As long as you follow the stuff, I said you get the job. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Any questions? Mahireen, Jagdeep Singh, Ezekiel, Binswap. I can't say. Gosh, I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Any question, guys? Before we move on.
Those are all good from my side.
Perfect. Great. Thank you. Yeah. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Please unmute yourself and talk. Jaspreet, do you have any question? Jagdeep, sorry.
Yeah, so it's all clear now. Now just looking forward to get a hand-on experience and try to get the entry-level job.
Very
To
good.
go.
Very good. Very good.
I'm looking forward.
Very good. Mahir?
Hello.
Hey, yes. You have any questions
Mm,
before we move on?
No, I'm also trying to get an entry level job. I don't have IT background.
No
So,
problem.
yeah.
Okay, no
Mm,
worries. Yeah, yeah. But as I said, this course will cover from very, very basics. You don't have to know anything from the department itself and goes very, very down into every technical. Okay. Before we even go technical, you'll have very clear understanding of all the concepts we already talk about. And then when we go in, it's much more clear. Okay. So don't
yeah.
worry about if you don't have any IT background. It's not necessary for this. Thank you. Go ahead, Jagdeep.
Yeah, so I have one question.
Mhm.
Like while coming over in Canada, I have I did a course over here, software quality assurance and test engineering. Does it gonna to be helpful in while entering the job while
Sorry,
entering
can
the
you repeat the course again?
software quality assurance and test engineering?
QA, right? It's called
Yeah, SQ.
QA. So okay, so here's the thing about QA. I've the company I work with a lot of companies. I'm a consultant too. Right now, QAs are all been outsourced or they've been automated. I don't see any. I could be wrong. I don't know much about it. Okay, I'm not a programmer. I don't deal with programming, right? So possibly there's a market, but I'm not sure. Very honest, very honest answer for
Okay,
you. Okay.
okay.
QA is one of the things, man. Now it's getting automated and it's getting passed on to some other companies now to do QA. There's just a lot of agencies abroad that does just QA for their thing, right? So unless you go into a special market, it's a very niche market.
Okay, so after doing this course, like you're going to start that one while doing the resume, is it okay to mention that course on the resume
Oh yeah,
type
yeah, yeah, 100%. Why
or
not?
is
Yeah, of course, put it in, no problem at all. As long as it's relevant, which is still IT, which still gives a very good, very good knowledge that you're still keeping yourself up to date, right?
Mm. Yeah, okay, because I have like a study from background from the IT, but at the moment last few years I'm doing some odd jobs. I just want to get opportunity for the entry level. Like
Hundred
I've
percent.
done a like a master in computer application back home in India and
Mhm.
here like a SQA, but I'm after that I didn't get the opportunity. Then I did some odd job, but after seeing your your video and got I think this is the best chance to get a entry into IT level industry. So I'm looking forward.
Yeah, yeah, very good, man, very good. Yeah, and you know what? Like the entry level job, like what we're going to focus on, does not need experience, but wants you to have very clear understanding of your job role. So that is what this training will provide. It's a very, very clear position, focus on your role itself. We don't go beyond, we don't go less. Okay, that's why it's very successful.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
So sorry to disturb
No,
you.
go ahead, go ahead,
One
no
quick
problem.
question.
Yeah.
Like, will we be getting any assistance for resume preparation?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. What I do is here, there's a recorded video that I'll send you that you watch over and create your template resume, what we call a template. When we go through the module, I'll tell you it's very nice is because you have to make a resume for each job you apply to, but you work from one resume and you create your others, right? And I tell you the techniques on what you need to do to keep it same and what you can do. We help you to use AI tools to create them. We tell you to, and it's very, very nice is because I see people who come here, they apply like 30 40 jobs, 30 40 jobs a day. Some people apply 30 40 jobs a day, or some applies 50 60 jobs a month, but they might get only no calls at all or one call, right? But after optimizing and getting ready and applying specifically, you'd start getting like 3 to 4 interviews per month. It's a day and night, and like within a month or two, then you land a job. If you do it properly, within 2 months you land a job. 3 months at the maximum, we say. 2 months is more than enough if you do it properly. 3 months sometimes.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. And like, let me be very clear. It's not like you complete the course the next day you'll get a job. Okay, I just want to make sure your expectations are correct. Is because it does take time. Okay, I seen the trend is 2 to 3 months. Okay, for people to get a job. It's you'll definitely have to get a job within 3 months as long as you follow the same technique which you show. Our trend is what we've seen from the people who have in the past who've got a job is they get 3 to 4 interviews per month. Okay, which is one interview per week. In the some peak season, they might get even 6 or 8 interviews per month, which is 1 to 2 a week. Okay, which is very good numbers. Once you start even getting 4 interviews per month, which is very good numbers, which is one week, one weekly one interviews, which will turn into secondary interviews. Sometimes if you feel it's okay, we'll listen to the recording and see what you have done wrong. We'll optimize, we'll fix you, and go on to the next interview. Right? That's how the process is. Okay. But you'll start seeing, once you start applying 3 to 4 interviews, that's a good sign. And then you need to start improvising yourself. getting yourself ready for the interview. Understanding this is different. Performing well in interviews is different. Okay, we'll train you on that too. It's a very one-on-one training, but it's a very good training that you'll get. Okay, it's more about psychologically how they land a job. It's when you go into an interview, it's about psychology and how do you actually connect with the people, and it's to prove you as a employee to a manager that you will come into the team not knowing too much, right? But you still put in the eagerness to learn and still be a complement to the team. You won't be a burden. That's the difference that there is. Okay. A lot of new people, they get so hard. A lot of companies are getting afraid to hire new people is because they think that they're a burden to the existing team. As long as long as you can prove that you are a value added to the team, you get hired. Okay. That's what we train you on. How do you actually do that? Okay, guys? Awesome. Okay, let's get started in the class. Okay, so today's class we'll jump into our first class. The introduction is completely done. Okay, about IT in a corporate environment, understanding IT departments, your role in IT help desk analyst, introduction to hardware components, and understanding operating system. Okay, this is the first lesson. We'll cover about mostly predominantly this today's first class. Okay, we'll get started. If you guys have any questions, please raise your hands, and then we can you can unmute yourself and talk. Okay, but I won't be muting your mic anymore. Feel free to unmute yourself to ask questions. Okay, but I will give you some time to ask questions as well. This is module number 1, IT fundamentals. Okay, all right. What does an IT mean in a company? Okay, IT, information technology, refers to using computers, networking, softwares, and systems to store, protect, process, and share data in an organization. Why it matters? It keeps the company running, from emails, Wi-Fi, printers, to security, data backup, and application support. It is involved in every department, whether it's sales, HR, finance, or marketing. Pretty much all departments in a company, IT will play a role in it. Okay, as a backend or a front end, doesn't matter. But IT will definitely touch all the roles inside, all the departments in a company. Simple analogy: IT is like the engine of a car. You don't always see it, but nothing moves without it. Okay, that is how important IT is now in a business world. How does the IT team work? Team collaborations. IT teams are divided by roles, but they work together to support the entire company. Typical workflow: an employee reports an issue or asks a request. Example: I can't log in, or can I get a monitor? Help desk you responds and troubleshoots or provide the service. If it's more complex, it gets escalated to the correct team, like networking, server, or software. Once resolved, the solution is documented. This is basically the workflow. Okay. What are the departments in IT? If you guys want to write down or take some photos of it, please go ahead. These are the departments inside IT. Okay. The first line of defense, what we call the first line soldiers, are IT help desk or IT support, which is what you guys be doing. What they do is first point of contact for technical issues. All companies will have an IT help desk or IT support. Anybody calls will be reaching out to them, and you guys, you guys will be taking down information. Try to troubleshoot, try to fix as much issue as you can within your scope of work, within what you're allowed to do. Okay, like password, software installation, printer issue, troubleshooting. Tools they use is ticketing system like Freshdesk, Zendesk, ServiceNow. There's OS Ticket. There's many of them, but all of them provide one focal point, which is one of them is called ticket management. Okay, which is what the ticketing system is used for. And remote access tools. Beginner job, yes. This is where most IT professionals start. This is where I started too, about 12, 13 years ago, I believe. So it's where I'm right now is because of this role. Okay, everybody starts here. Nobody starts in the middle. Okay, everybody starts here and they work their way up. It's because you touch everything. You get exposed to all the things inside IT department. Okay, that's how this works. The next is, and think of this as a a pyramid, right? The IT help desk is the bottom, the first layer. Okay, and networking team, server team, and next is all second layer. Okay, so networking team, what they do is keep the internet, Wi-Fi, VPNs, and internet connection working. They use tools like routers, switches, firewall, network monitors. Beginner job, usually not. Needs experience or certifications like CCNA. Okay. We have the next team is system and server team. What they do is manage user account, servers, file storage, Active Directory, backups. Tools they use: Windows Server, VMware, Hyper-V, Microsoft 365 admin portal, which you guys will be using to a certain degree. Okay, you guys need to get used to Microsoft 365 portal as well, which will definitely show you have hands-on practice and everything in this course. Okay, beginner job, no, not usually, but it's definitely not. But help desk often leads here. This is the next step. Okay, system and server admin, because you'll have such a well hands-on experience with servers and Office 365. It is the most easiest path to go into server or system admin. Okay, that is where it leads to easily. Networking is good too, but networking needs just another layer, and which is a bit more difficult from a help desk. It's not impossible. It's just a CCNA or network plus certifications are slightly harder for people to get. As long as if you think you like them and you pursue that career, you can get it. Okay. But usually people I seen in my trend in the 13 years in IT is help desk. They go to server and system. If that's the easiest for them to go to, or most people love that. Not the easiest, most people love it. When you love something, it becomes easy, right? So that's why it is. Okay. Networking, because it involves a lot of numbers and it's just a black screen with just numbers. Not a lot of people like them. That's the reason why. Okay. It's just not because of love. It's not because of hard. It's just because they don't have the love towards it. Okay. That's what it is. Next is cybersecurity. So along with networking system, you have the cybersecurity as well. Okay, what cybersecurity does is protect company data and system from hackers and viruses. The tools they use is antivirus, firewall, SIEM, and encryption tools. Beginner job, no. Needs experience and certification like CompTIA Security Plus. And there's other certifications for cybersecurity. Okay, there's CEH, there's tons of certification for cybersecurity, but it's not ever entry level job. Cybersecurity is never entry level job. The people who become cybersecurities are system admin or network admin. Okay, they love the security portion and they become specialized in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is not an entry level job in IT, but it's an entry level job in cybersecurity itself. Okay, like cyber expert or SOC analyst and those type of things. We'll look at the job roles just down the road. Software slash application team. Okay, what they do is they create or manage software application the business use, website, internet tools, or CRM, customer management tools. Okay, tools they use is programming languages, IDEs, JIT, testing tools. Beginner, yes. If you're learning programming, this could be a path as well. Okay, this is a software team. They have junior software analyst as well. If you are in the software field, that is a good field to go into. But not if you think about it, software and application team, even the mid-sized company. Let me be very clear here. So when I talk about small, mid or enterprise level, right? Small is like anywhere less than 600,000 people is considered as small. Okay, anyone when I mean working people, all the people working in the company. Okay, if it's less than 1,000 people or 600 people is considered small. Anything over 700 or less than 3,000 or 2,500 is considered as a mid-sized business, and anything over 3,000 is considered enterprise. Okay. So even mid-sized companies don't even have a software application team. They might have a software analyst, just one person. They don't have a team. It's because it's just costly. So they might just outsource it to someone else to do it. Okay, so that's why it's so you don't get too much software teams in Canada for you, unless it's an enterprise. Yes, they have to have a software team that just does the maintenance of the software, create software for the business itself. But usually mid-sized businesses and lower, they don't have a software team. Okay, they just outsource it or they buy it from someone else. It is hard for them to manage. The next is the database team. Manage large amount of company data, organizing, storing, and securing it. That's the role of a database team. Okay. Tools they use is SQL, Oracle, MySQL, database monitoring tool. Beginner, no. Usually requires experience and SQL training. This one is usually people, after they have completed server or networking, but usually server administrators, they love data. They have a love for data. They have a love for organizing things a certain way, and they have a passion for it. They become database admin, work in the database team. Usually, if you look at a company, the director of IT will, which will go, director of IT will get paid a lot, manager will get paid a lot, team lead will sort of get paid a lot, but the people in database team always gets the most amount of money. It's because they handle the most valuable item in the company, which is data. Okay, right now in the 20th century, the most valuable thing is not gold, it's data. Okay, so it's whoever manages, whoever secures it, earns the most amount of money. It's because the whole companies depend on them, and usually they don't ever fire a database admin or database personnel. It's because if they leave, there's no way a company can recreate the data itself. Okay, that's the reason why. Or they make sure they document it very good. Okay. So the next is project management. So these are the management team. Okay. So project management is plans and leads IT projects like software rollouts, system updates, putting in new printers, putting in new monitors, bringing in new computers, anything big projects they need to bring in. A project management team will handle. Okay. Uses MS projects, Jira, Asana, Trello, like those type of tools to manage the project itself, and manage people too, right? Need experience managing tasks and people. This is the most hardest portion, is because you need to, one, make sure the work gets completed in the right amount of time within the budget constraint, and also manage people. When you manage people, you're managing with egos of people, right? So you can't hurt someone, you can't push someone. So you have to play the nice person and get the work done. It's the most difficult, and it needs the most amount of work, right? So that's what project management is. Next is a team lead, which usually when you start off in an IT help desk, and before you go into server admin, you'll be in the middle, which is team lead, okay? Which is a senior technician who leads a small team. Example, help desk team or networking team. Every team will have a team lead, okay? Promotable. That they will handle, like they'll be the expert in it, and everybody from the team will go to him to ask questions, okay? Without bothering the manager or anything like that. So he'll be the one who's managing a lot of these teams. Responsibility, assign tasks, support junior staff, act as a bridge to the management. Um, if I because I'm now a director now, I just have my managers do. I assign my managers to the tasks that the company wants to do, right? And I'll tell you what the roles are, what my responsibility is, and I also do a lot of management as a consultancy too for small companies. But I don't assign the work to individual people. I would assign to a manager. The manager will assign to a team lead to get the work done, okay? Because they can't really follow up with individual people in a big company, it's just waste of time. So these team leads will be assigned tasks. This week we need to get this done, and it's their responsibility to split those works and get those done by individual people and get them. And usually, team lead will become a manager, and manager will become a director with based on the experience they have. Okay, but that's a team lead. But it's not. It's never a direct entry into team lead. Okay, but a common step after a few years on the job. So after 2 years, usually of you being the same job, like 1.5, 2 years, you'll become a team lead or a senior team lead in the team itself. Okay, that's where your path is to become into the next role, or if you want to go into the manager role, okay? Or you'll play a different role. The next is manager, which is oversees a full department like IT support or IT infrastructure, manages budget, hiring, and planning. Okay, this is what the manager does. Skill needed is leadership, reporting, planning, and a strong technical background. Okay, so there's usually in a big enterprises, even the manager of IT gets split into different manager. There's a manager for IT service delivery manager. There's an IT infrastructure manager. There's an IT cybersecurity manager, and there is a IT maybe a software manager, right? But there some companies will have something called IT operations manager, which is the role I played. So operation manager means, you see, all these departments will report directly to myself. Okay, so which means I have to have various experience in all these fields to be able to then reporting to me, right? So I need to make sure that I know the work can be done. I don't need to do them. I need to be able to do them if somebody else doesn't come in. But promotably means that I know that this work can be done in this way, so I can guide the team just in case something happens, right? So that is why IT operations manager is a bit of a stretch, is because you have to have played somewhat of a role in each one of those departments. I never played a big role in software, being very honest, okay? But I have played almost all the roles in networking, server side, cybersecurity very heavily, and IT service desk, okay? So I've played all these four. So my expertise is in all four fields as IT operations manager. But some companies do have a split. When you go into, especially the banking sector, they do have a small splits. Okay, they have a service delivery manager, they have an infrastructure manager, they have a cybersecurity manager, they have a programming manager as well. I think it's software development manager, I believe. But these are the management. Okay. This is the first level of management. Now you go to the second layer, okay, which is the director of IT. So director of IT oversees the entire IT divisions. Remember, we talked about all these departments. They take care of all these departments, okay? Reports to the executives, helps align IT with the company strategy. So the company might say 5 years from now, our goal is to be here. So the director will be given the plan of it's called tactical planning. Tactical planning, there's a stage in tactical planning, right? So they give us the next 20 years we want to be here, and then we would have to break it down into five years and bring that down to even into 1 years and 6 months, 3 months, right, in quarterlies, right, in 4 months. But it's the way how we can see what is progressive growth we can do to reach the 20 years mark or 10 years mark, set the markers. And we have to be the one. It's not more technical, but it's more managerial to make sure that department is going in the right direction. So when we reach the 20 years, when we're here, we can go here to 20 years steadily. Okay, there's no downfall from here. End of the day, how this works, IT team does not exist without a business. If you think about it, IT itself, it can never be a business itself. Okay, IT is always there to support someone. So because you have the power, you can never have a heavyweight. Is because if the company does not exist, IT does not exist. Okay, so end of the day, our solo purpose, what we call the triangular or single point of focus, is to make sure the company is working, the company's data is secure, the company can every day work, right? That's when you can get paid. Okay, so all our focus is towards the company itself. So as a director, myself is if they want to be here in 20 years, if we're here, how do we actually every year, how do you actually inch towards that thing? End of the day, we don't have unlimited budget in the earth, right? We can't just push a rocket our way here. It's every year, small budgets. What are the strategical plan that I can make itself to make sure that the team itself is going in the area? The one of some of the things almost all IT companies now are encouraging is self improvements, get some certifications. So every week I set aside, everybody has to set aside, 5 hours a week on improving something. Every year they have to do two certifications, right? It's not just improve themselves, but it's I have a 20 years goal to get to. So the team has to evolve with me to go there, or I have to start laying off some people, right? Who was not. And you see there's a trend there. Who is not moving up or down, they're staying in the same spot, they will not improve, right? And sometimes that's when they get laid off. It's because they're becoming a burden to the company itself. When you're there, that's why I tell you, especially your role. When you join a role, you should not be in the same role for 2 years. Maximum, at the maximum, you should be in the role for 2 years. That's it. You should be moving up into senior team lead or into a different team itself. If you're there for 2 years, you're getting too comfortable and you're not doing your job correctly. Okay, and that's when the time ticks. It's time for you that you will get fired or you need to start looking for another job. Okay, it's because after 2 years you'll become a burden to the company itself. Okay, always think what you can do to evolve. Don't ask for a pay raise or don't ask for a different position 6 months down the road, but at least work their dedication for a year and ask them, you want this is your every year you'll have a meeting. Okay, tell them this is where you want to see yourself in the next 2 years. What can I do? What do I need to do to get there? Ask your manager, ask your team lead, right? And they will help you to go there. They'll tell you this is what you need to go there, right? So always you don't tell them I want to be there, but ask them I want to be there. What do I need to do to go there? And have them give you a plan and follow the plan, right? That way you're much more successful. Me being in manager for 8 9 years now, whenever I have yearly or every quarter, every half a year, I have meeting with all the staff, right? I have about 16 people that reports to me at work. But every people I meet to, even including manager as well, 16, 17 people. But in the 16, 17 people, about only 10% of the people ask me, I wanna do this work, but what can I do to improve myself to do that, right? Only 5 to 10% people will ask that, okay? But other people just say, I wanna do that work. I just say no, you cannot do it. It's just we already have too much people working there. But if you ask me what can I do, I can give you a map on how to go there, right? You cannot just expect the work to be given to you just because you have a paper that says you're qualified. It's because it doesn't give you a realistic work life experience. The thing about it is the paper does help. I'll be very honest with you. Certification does help to land your job, but it's for entry level. If let's say you have a PMP with no experience, it doesn't mean anything because you don't know how to manage a project. You don't know how to manage a people, right? You have to have experience along with a certification, which justifies certifications. You can't. It's easy to get a certification, but it's so hard to get experience. But you need to justify both of them to be able to get promotions or be able to do the work you want to do, right? So it does take a little bit amount of work. I'll tell you right now, it takes for you to be very successful in IT. It'll take anywhere between 3 to 5 years to go into that, the six-figure salary, the $100,000 salary, which is 5 years is a very, very good goal and very realistic goal to go into 5 years. Okay, but as long as you play it properly, the 5 years you dedicate to IT, for sure in 5 years you land 100, 120, 130K salary for sure. But if you miss, or if you don't be dedicated, for sure you won't. You'll just stick to a 60, $70,000 job, right? I've seen people who have dedicated for 5 years who landed a 175, $150,000 salary job easy with no 3, 4 years, But because they have sacrificed their time, they have sacrificed everything to go here, right? But they're doing this much work. If you're not doing that much work, don't expect that, right? There's a return on investment on whatever you invest. Think of it like that. You might not see it tomorrow. You might not see it day after tomorrow, but you might see it like the other day, right? So, but you have to wait. You have to be persistent. You have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined enough to do it. Okay. Let's continue. The next is VP of IT, which is a lot of enterprise companies will have. Director of IT too, a lot of enterprise level companies. Mid-sized companies will have directors, but enterprise level companies will only have VP of IT, okay? It's just the budget's much more higher. They're a high level, very, very high level executives who help this decision long-term IT vision and investments. Usually, if you think of it like this way, Microsoft, Lenovo, Dell, those are enterprise, right? They will have a VP of IT. Their vision is like this. They don't go technical or anything like that. They say, okay, if the company gives me $2 billion in the next 5 years, how can I make that $2 billion into $20 billion for the company? How do I actually make my team evolve with me in the next 10 years so the company can go there? Their focus is more about money and how they can multiply the money itself. Okay, that's what they look at. That's their job role. That's why they get hired for, is to multiply the investment so the investment can get bigger and bigger. Okay. Their focus is on technology strategy, budgeting, partnership, and compliances. Okay, this is what IT, VP of IT, Vice President of IT does. Now you have the top layer. These are the top of the food chain, what we call, okay? They're called the CTO and CFO. So what the naming acronym is, Chief Technical Officer and Chief Financial Officer. A lot of companies, Chief Financial Officer will play the same role as a Chief Technology Officer. It's for budgeting, okay, budget purposes, okay? While not part of IT department, they often work closely with IT, especially for budgeting, tools, and data security. Usually, as I said, from the companies that I work, there's always been just a chief financial officer, and they act as a chief technology officer as well. Okay, it's because the budgets, they need to approve the budgets, and they are the one who give the budget to the IT team, right? Usually, a lot of companies, mid-sized companies, cannot afford to have a technology officer itself, and they can the financial officer will act as a technology officer to give budgeting. They review IT spending, approve tools, and ensure ROI, return on investment. Okay, they'll make sure, as a same as VP of IT, is to make sure every dollar they put in, or every $1 million, or every $100,000, it's either 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, right? End of the day, for a business, if they're putting in the money, they need to make sure they're seeing some sort of growth or some sort of money coming back in again, a double or triple, right? So they'll make sure that's their job role. Okay. Sorry. Any questions so far, guys, about the departments in IT? Okay, let's take a break out of the 7:45 mark. Okay, that way you guys can take a break, take some water, and come back. Okay, usually I leave a 10 minutes break. Okay, what are the roles in IT? So we're now from the department. We're now going into each department, looking at the roles. Okay, so you have the IT. So you have the help desk and IT analyst, first line of support for technical issue, and you have the network analyst who manages internet, routers, VPN, and Wi-Fi. Okay, server and system and server analyst handles user account, servers, and backups. You have cybersecurity analyst, protects data from hackers, virus, and breaches. You have the software and application analyst, builds and manages app and software. You have the database analyst, organize and protect database, like SQL, backups, and access. Okay. Project and planning roles. This is the project management team. Okay. What we looked at as a technical role, this is the project management role. You have the project lead who oversees a technical delivery of one project, works closely with tech team. Okay, so what project lead is, if you think about it like this, project manager handles sometimes 60, 70 projects a year. Okay, but they cannot giving time to small, like, they might be like, okay, one is a printer project, imagine that. Okay, and one of the printer companies sending us 300 printers, and we have 10 locations, right? So the project manager will talk and negotiate where the printer is supposed to go. Let's say one is supposed to go to Toronto, one is supposed to go to Montreal, one is supposed to go to Alberta. The project manager, because he's running 60 other projects too, there's maybe a computer projects, right? He doesn't have the time to go in and look at each location. What they'll do is they'll assign a project lead who makes sure whatever the manager has planned is getting done properly and report back to the manager, say, okay, this has came. Or we're instead of 10 printer coming to Toronto, we only got 8. I've already talked to the company. They said they're going to ship it next week. So they'll follow up and they'll make sure everything's done. Okay. A project lead will become a project manager after years of experience, which is what the roles I've played. Okay. Project manager plans, timeline, resources, meaning what type of things will come in, who will work there, what type of department will get involved, and goals. They'll set goals. At this date, this should be done. This is the project budget amount and everything. Okay, communicates between departments. So they'll say, okay, they'll get together all the managers from each department and say, these are the things that we need you guys to do. These are the things that we'll do. These are things we'll expect in return from you guys. Coordinate. We need some people. They'll talk to them and get the things arranged by departments. Okay. Then you have the leadership and oversight team. So these are what the next layer of, remember we talked about. Team lead, senior staff, guides a small team or shift. IT manager manages department like supports and networking. Director of IT oversees entire IT operations and strategy. VP of IT sets long-term vision, connects IT to company goals. Chief Financial Officer approves IT budgets and investments, focuses on cost and value. So each role supports the company in different way, but works together for the same goal, as you see, okay? Efficiently and secure business operations. Because although we have all these various roles, but that does not mean we work with different goals. All of them are going towards a single point of focus, okay, which is making sure the company's business is happening. Okay. What is your part in the IT department? Your role, IT help desk analyst, IT service desk analyst, service desk analyst. There's various names for it, okay? But we'll say IT help desk analyst for this course. The first point of contact when something goes wrong or someone needs something. It could be, it could be like onboarding or offboarding, new installation of software, password reset, software errors, email or printer issues, device troubleshooting. If somebody wants to get a license for Adobe Acrobat Pro, they want to get license for Microsoft 365. Think of anything that people first pick up the phone and send email to will come directly to you, and then you will have to see if you can resolve it. Our next team, right? There's what we call is something called separation of duty. Okay, so you might want to write this down. Separation of duty means why this was built is because we say is in IT, not one person, it should never be one person that can damage the entire IT team or the entire company. So let's say this, me as a director, I can never damage the whole department. If I'm going to leave, let's say they fire me and I hate the company, I cannot just be like, okay, here, let me delete everything. I cannot still do it, okay? It should never be one person should be able to delete everything or completely uninstall everything. It should be, I should hold some of the key, you should hold some of the key. So if I want to damage it, 2 or 3 people have to collaborate to do it, right? Which will never happen. It's moral and ethics and the risk valuability. It's just never one person should be able to do damage to the company itself. It should be across, and nobody should have a full access to everything. It should be, if you're going to do this job, you just need to have that access. That's it. You don't need to have more or you don't need to have less. It's called role-based access. We'll look at it when we go into Azure as well. It's a very interesting topic, and that is the new way of securing things. Is role-based access, okay? Which you'll learn in this course as well. If the bigger problem, you escalate to the right department. What is your part? So tools you may use is remote support software, which is 90% of the time you will use. Okay, ticketing system is 90%. Basic troubleshooting tools. Okay, which is what's the other 10% is. It's because why I say ticketing system and request support comes in. Your work will come in a form of a ticket. So imagine if you're working in a kitchen, right? I'm just using a kitchen analogy. If you're working in a kitchen, you know the order sheet you get saying that okay, somebody ordered a burger with beef, lettuce, tomato, and no mayonnaise. You want to get a clear cut of what you need to do, right? That's how ticketing system works. It's basically an order sheet that comes to you to do the work. It could be for issue. Somebody say I'm having a problem, or it could be for someone that says I want a monitor, I want a computer, I want a new computer, or I want a new mouse, anything like that. It can be either for issues or service request. Okay, there's two type of things. These are the only two things you can do in a ticketing system. As long as you understand this, you'll be very successful. One is service request, one is incidents or problems. Okay, you why you're valuable. Why is company thinking you as a valuable thing when there's system admin, there's network admin, right? You keep user productivity. Most issues that can be resolved within 15-30 minutes, you can usually fix it over the phone or over email, just from an email, right? The complex issue only filters out to the next department. You will capture about, I would say 60% of the company issue and resolve to yourself. That's the reason why you're very valued. And also you are the face of IT. If you provide 100% like good service, you're talking to people with a smile, you have no attitude, you're clearly explaining things, people respect you and people respect the department, right? So it's you that brings the respect to the department itself. That's the reason why they love IT department, IT analyst. Okay, that's the reason why you're valued in the company itself. Why is your role important? You are the face of IT. Most employees interact with you before anyone else in IT. Okay, that's why you have to have a smile. Your customer service should be at 200%. You can be having a bad day. If you are, then you have to tell your team leader you're having a bad day. You can't do it every time, but can I be just off the phone, just on email? Okay, but your face should be, welcoming. You should be talking in a welcoming tone. You should never insult a user. Okay, your user does not need to know anything. They don't need to know what issue they have. It's your job to ask the right question and to pull the information what they've known from you. Let's say, for example, if you go to a doctor and you say your stomach is hurting you, your doctor cannot expect you to know if your appendix is hurting you or your appendix is blasted. It's his job to diagnose the issue and come up with a proper treatment for it. Right? That's exactly what you're doing. You're acting as a doctor. You're asking the right question to extract the information and resolve the problem. And there's a technique on how you do it. We'll look at it too in your troubleshooting sessions. There's a STQ question that you can ask, which stands for standard technical question, okay, which you'll go through to ask the questions to resolve the issues. Fast, helpful resource builds trust and confidence among the users and customers, obviously. Users meaning customers, right? Other people inside the company. How you impact the company. You resolve issues means employees keep working, which means business keep running, okay? Good support equals a happy user, a better moral. Early issue detection equals preventing big issue. What this means is, if you resolve an issue very quickly, let's say if somebody lost a password, they phone you, you resolve within 2 minutes. Well, employee can be working within 2 minutes, right? Which means the business can keep on running, right? So I'll give you a very good example. When I used to be an operations manager for Ontario Shores, a hospital in Whitby, Ontario. I tell everyone that starts this job, IT help desk, where you'll be starting is the call you get. It might be some patient, needs to get a medicine, life-threatening medicine, but the employee cannot log into the computer, right? If you delete a call, your call could be a difference between life or death for a patient. So, meaning that nurse is calling, their password is locked. Because if you think of it like this way, right? When you're in a hospital, 24/7 hospital, maybe the patient has some sort of allergy, like penicillin allergy, right? Maybe if they give the wrong medicine to the wrong user because they can't log into the system, that patient can die. Or if you don't reach the password in the right amount of time, they cannot deliver the medicine, the patient can die, right? So your timely information, your timely action is very important, and also resolving the issue in timely fashion is also important, okay? These two things have to go in hand in hand, which means the employee can keep working, which means the business keep running. Okay. Good support. When I mean good support is, you're doing it with the love, you're doing with a sense of them being happy, right? And making sure that you can resolve the issue. You can't make everyone happy, but your job is to do the support with 200% dedication, right? And you're doing it to make sure that they can still keep on going to do work, which means happy users. When you work in a company, if you know that other team is respecting you, or if you know that there's another department who cares about you, you'll have a better moral to work for the company, right? You'll say, okay, I love this company to work for this. You'll go in there at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock happily, right? That's how it is, okay? You build better moral, and you treating other people builds better moral in the team without you even noticing, okay? That's how important your role is. And early issue detection, this is when I train people. Trust me, even nowadays I train team, like when I try to train people in corporate environment too, I tell them, if you see something wrong, you are the first ones who will see it. People might call you and be like, hey, I'm getting a suspicious email. It seems my colleague has got it too. You might hear this from other people, which is early detection, right? Somebody's trying to attack our company. this kind of phishing. We'll talk about it throughout the course as well when we go to cybersecurity. You might be able to figure out a cybersecurity issue before it becomes a big issue, and you notify your team lead who notifies cybersecurity, and they might be able to resolve the issue because before it becomes a big issue, right? And you prevent it in the small step, which is why your role is very important because you can hear everybody's complaint. You see everything from front of the company itself, right? Front of the department itself. The other backend department might not have the time, might not have the the work, a lot of people to work on the issue like you guys will. Okay. Okay, guys, it's 7:45. Let's take a 10 minutes break and let's come back at 7:55. Okay, and let's continue on the class. Okay, that way you can grab some water if you need to go to the bathroom or something like that, please. Okay, let's start sharp at 7:55. Okay, thank you guys. Let's meet back in 10 minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have one question. So now we all know that big tech companies, they have been laying off people due
Mhm.
to like downturn, and so how how secure is this position or this career?
Yeah,
Because this also comes into IT only, so I'm confused about that.
yeah. So if you see the layout, the titles are like mostly in the what do you call the remote support, or the remote. Most of the people who got let go, if you see the trend, they're from working from home, right? And they're more like in the in the level of either the project management, or in the level of uh, like they are SOC analyst, NOC analyst, IT project management. These mid-level positions. Okay, there has been time to let go of level one, but usually the reason why they don't let go of level one is because it's not too expensive for the company, and it gets very hard to train level one people inside the company itself. So usually the people who they first fire is like the project management, database leads, or those odd jobs that they don't need to have. That's what they'll fire. Okay, I'm not going to say there's no way you'll ever get laid off. I seen a lot of people get laid off in IT help desk too, but it's easy for you to get another job. That's what I'm trying to say. As long as you have one experience in IT help desk analyst role, or IT help desk analyst in the field itself, uh, the job within month and a half, you get another job for sure. But when you go up and up, sort of in the management role, it's becomes very hard to get a job role. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people who have lost a job is was in the project management. SAP. SAP was a lot of people let go was in the SAP. SAP is like a management software, right? So the SAP application experts and those guys were let go because everything was automated and everything has now become AI oriented. So that portion is not needed anymore. Okay,
Okay. Thank you, sir.
no problem. Okay, yeah. So where we stopped up was, you're like the first responder, first on scene, keeping everything stable. Okay, that's what your role is. How IT integrates into organizations. IT connects all departments. HR uses IT for payroll, onboarding system. Okay. Sales uses IT for CRM, customer relationship management system, and email campaigning. Finance relies on secure servers and accounting softwares. Managers uses data dashboard for decision making. And these are all controlled by IT. Okay. Integration examples are like a shared cloud system lets team access files from anywhere. It's also managed by IT. Security tools protects all department from phishing emails, phishing attacks, which we'll look at if you don't know, which we'll look at in the cybersecurity portion, which is I believe is the third module. Okay, which will be the fourth or fifth class, fourth class. I believe. Automation tools save time across teams. IT is not a separate island. It's built into every part of how a company functions. A company can never get rid of a whole IT team itself. They can never. It's because right now in the world, IT is needed for even a small size company to roll. When I started off, I worked for a small company as just the one person IT help desk. I was when I started off, meaning when I had 2 years of experience, but I was getting paid at the time $65,000 to support a 200-person team, 200-person company, right? I think 65,000, I think. But it's the job was very hard, but I learned a lot from this experience, right? It's very very hands-on experience. But even a small company needs IT because everybody will have some sort of company computer issue. Everybody will have some sort of email issue. Everybody will have some sort of printer issue. They can't call everyone like another outside person every time, right? One, cost effective. They might not be able to get the job on the time when they need it. So they'll have a small budget for IT help desk analyst level one, level two, usually level two, which you'll be able to do in 1.5 years of support in IT. You'll be a level two technician, which is just a slight complexity inside IT department itself. Okay. Summary: IT is essential for daily operations. IT handles daily operations. You cannot imagine the depth. If IT team everybody disappears one day, the whole company just will crumble because everything is stabilized by IT. IT keeps everything in a very very stable environment. Okay, IT department works together to solve problems. You are a key part of the IT chain as a help desk analyst. Your work makes real difference. You keep the business running. Every great IT profession started where you are now. Stay curious, stay helpful, and keep learning. These are three things that you should be taking away, okay? And keep on doing this sort of thing. Okay, before we go here, do you guys have any questions on things we covered? So, okay, let's go to the next subject, which is understanding hardware components. The reason why the hardware components are very important is because, one, I'll show you first what the components are, and then I'll a list of what the uses for each components are, and what are the troubleshooting things that you should be looking for. Okay, so it's better for you guys to write them down. Okay, so these are the things that's in the hardware components you need to know. First is CPU. CPU is the brain of the computer. It processing all instructions and running applications. Okay, CPU is not the whole entire computer itself. It's a small chip. I'll show you in the next slide. Okay, RAM helps your computer run multiple tasks at once and plays a major role in speed and performance. Okay, RAM. HDD or SSD. HDD means hard disk, which is a normal spinning hard disk. You'll have a spinning sector inside. I'll show you how does it look like. So it'll seem like this, okay? If you open it up, it'll be a spinning disk, and how fast this spins is how much data speed you'll have writing. This is traditionally considered an olden hard disk, okay? This is not a new one. This is olden day, but this is very less cost, but it'll last, it'll pretty much last forever unless you drop them or anything physical happens to it. And the data recovery is very, you can do data recovery somewhat, okay? It's expensive, but it is possible to get the data even if you erase it or if something happens to the drive, right? Now the new one is called SSD, the newer generation hard disk, okay, where you store things. This is where you store your files, your documents, and everything. This is how it looks like. The chip. The chip is much faster. It's like 10 to 20 times faster than what it used to be. But if the chip breaks, the data is gone. Okay, you're trading off. One is between speed and safety, speed and data recoverability, to one for slow and data be there cheap. Data can be recovered, and it's slow. One is speed and data cannot be recovered. One is slow. It's very cheaply cost, and also data can be recovered. Okay, that's what you're trading between. It's a speed you're trading between. But some companies are okay with it. Okay, and there's a reasoning why they're okay with it. They have backup options, which we'll look at in the next coming days. Okay, how does a backup option work? How does a company use them? What is a backup? What is the Azure backup, and everything we'll look at. Okay. Next is the motherboard. Motherboard is the main circuit board, our main playground where everything gets connected to. And motherboard is like almost like think of it like almost like a nice plate, like a nice platter where you can put in all the food items and where that it stays, right? So the motherboard helps to hold everything together. PSU, it's considered as power supplying unit. Okay, it provides power to the computer itself. In a desktop, it's a bigger unit. It's it'll look like this in the desktop. It'll be inside the computer. In a laptop, it'll look like you might have it right now. It's a small, like your charging thing. That is a PSU as well. It's a power supplying unit. Okay. Cooling system. It helps to keep your computer cool. A lot of the time, it's a fan. It looks like this. It'll be inside the computer. There'll be fans on the computer that brings in the air, cool air into the computer and pushes the cold heat air outside. Okay, hot heat to the computer is the worst thing that's possible. As the more cooler you keep the system, the better it'll work. Okay, that's how it is made. The hotter it gets, the slower it gets, and it'll start dying out. Because remember that everything is joined by metal, right? So if metal gets heated, it can release itself, and it becomes very slow, and it becomes very it can break the computer. It can break the computer as well. Okay. Hardware components you need to know are some of them are GPU. It's called graphic processing unit. Okay, like CPU, central processing unit. You have GPU, graphical processing unit. It's exactly what it means. It is where CPU does numbers and calculations. GPU does images and videos. Okay, it's mostly done for graphics. So like visual outputs, like if you want to do gaming, if you want to do video editing, if you're doing like those type of things, it's designing work, like video editing and playbacks, is best to have a GPU, which should be much. You'll have your system is dedicated for video editing and game playing, right? It's a different level of processing. Okay, it's numbers and instructions, where here you're processing images and videos. Okay, input output device is a common umbrella term. Okay, input output device, it's like anything you plug in, like your keyboard, your mouse, your USB drive, your webcam is also considered. If it's an external webcam, will be considered input output device. But in the input output device, you have something called peripheral ports. So these are like USB ports, monitor ports, or network cables. Okay, these are also peripheral ports. You also have something called NIC, which is what it brings in network into the computer. Okay, this is how your computer can access the internet. Okay, that's called NIC. External devices, these are also a big umbrella term. It just means like mouse, keyboard, printer, anything you plug in, basically USB drive. If you plug in your camera, it becomes the external device. Okay, docking station is an expansion of a laptop. Okay, it allows your laptop to act like a desktop, which is what a lot of corporate environment use. Which is, I'll show you a image here. So like it'll look like this. So these is where you put your display in, and one wire will connect to the computer itself. It usually be a Type C cable, like what you have in your Android phone nowadays. It'll connect to your laptop, and it'll take it and you'll use it like a desktop. I'm using the same setup here in my office room here in my home to do that. Okay. It'll turn your laptop into a computer. You can plug in multiple screens, multiple USB drive, a network adapter, charger, and everything. It's just one cable. And it's easy cable management for companies. Okay. Usually these things can go wrong as well. So that's the reason why we're going to talk about it, but we'll go a little bit more into it. Okay, so now you're seeing a picture of a processor, a CPU. A CPU can also be called as a processor. Okay, this is the main chip that processes all tasks and instructions, calculations. Okay, basically. Okay, and this is what's called a CPU. And all the motherboard you see are designed based on the CPU. Okay, what generation the CPU is. There's generation 1 to I think generation 13 now. So your computer, you can check what generation it is, and how you can do that is if you're using a Windows computer, go into the search and search for Task Manager. Okay, it's this one over here, Task Manager. If you open that up, you'll get a window called a Task Manager screen. Okay, here. Let me share this screen just by itself, so you have a better visibility. Okay. Okay, you can probably just see the Task Manager itself. If I go into performance here, you see the CPU here, right? You see here, this says CPU 13 generations. On top of CPU, it'll say here 13 generation, okay? Mine's is a 13 generation laptop. Yours might be 13 generation, something else, but are AMD as well. There's two different types of computer CPUs, which is one is Intel, one is AMD, okay? It's like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They both taste almost similar, but has a different customer base, right? That's what it is, okay? AMD is more gaming, more cost effective. It's very business oriented, and it's very like more getting the job done, okay? Right. So main chip that processes all tasks and instructions used for running software, operating system, and calculations, okay? That's what CPU does. Basic calculation is just ones and zeros. That's all it does, okay? It's not very good at giving. If you were to video it just with CPU, it won't do it properly. It'll still do it, but it'll struggle doing it because it's not meant to do it, right? It's like asking a 2-year-old to do a complex university math. Even though he can probably try to do it, but he just won't be best at it. Okay. What you need to understand is clock speed. Okay, there is just GHZ. It's called clock speed. Every CPU will have something on gigahertz. Okay, gigahertz, and that's how it works based on numbers of cores and thread. I'll show you what those are right now. CPU affects performance and multitasking and processing issues. I'll open up the task manager here again, which I want to show you where you can see the things what we just talked about. Okay, so remember what we talked about here is the gigahertz. If you see here, can you guys tell me where you guys see gigahertz, GHZ in the screen? You guys can unmute yourself and say, no problem. Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself, and anybody can just say, where do you see gigahertz? GHZ.
It's the speed.
Perfect. Very good. Yeah, exactly. See the speed, it says gigahertz, so it's fluctuating, okay? Which means it's working in a good fashion. And you see the graph here, right? You see the graph, it's going up and down, but you see it's not at 100. You see the 100% here, and this is 0%. It's in the middle, right? Which means it's telling us that the computer is working efficiently. It's working normally, okay? It's not very high, it's not very low. It's working in a moderate amount. Because I have lots of tab open, I'm doing a video call with you guys, and I'm sharing my screen as well, right? So which is very good for the computer. And if you see, we also have something called the threads and cores. So the cores, can you guys tell me how many cores this computer is showing? You guys can unmute yourself. Anyone can unmute yourself and just say, how many cores are you guys seeing in this computer?
10 cores.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. So you see here where it says 10 cores, right? So if you see here, just about it says socket, you see? The socket means how many CPU is inside this computer. There's only one CPU. The reason why you would think there's only one CPU in a computer, right? There is some servers which we call, which will, when we go into more into the course, we'll see, it controls a large amount of small slaves. Your laptop can be considered a slave, and there's a master that can control it. So the master unit can have 10, 20, 100 core, 100 sockets, meaning CPUs there. It can process heavy amount of data very nicely, okay? But the laptop, usually your desktop or consumer and stuff, would typically have just one socket, okay? Which means one CPU there. One CPU has 10 different cores, okay? That's how you look at it, okay? This is where you'll go to see that, okay? Let me share my other screen. Okay, next thing, oh, sorry. Let me go back here, sorry. So the common issue of a CPU is you'll see overheating, which means the temperature will rise up, or you'll feel behind the PC. It's just very hot to touch, okay? And performance lagging. Remember the graph I showed you? If it's just very high at 90, 100%, which means the system will be very slow, it'll lag, okay? And system not booting, it could be also a damaged CPU. A CPU can also get faulty, okay? Computer, everything can go faulty. We just have to make sure to maintain the system, okay? Any question on CPU, guys?
No, sir.
Perfect. Very good. Thank you. Perfect. Next is RAM. So RAM is a temporary memory for running program. It's a temporary, okay? What it does is think of it like this. Your hard drive, your storage department stores everything, right? But for you to use it, like for you to see it and do like your Google Chrome, is saved in your hard disk, but it's running from your Google Chrome. I mean, so it's running from your RAM. Sorry, Google Chrome is running from your RAM itself. The reason why it does this is your RAM is very fast. It's about 20, 30 times faster than your hard disk or your SSD itself. So your system, like biologically, it's better for it to run it from the RAM than from your hard disk, from your SSD or hard disk. Okay, it's just a better. It has a better connection to the CPU for better speed. For better speed. Okay, it's you like if you think of it, motherboard like a motherboard, the RAM is usually connected to the motherboard itself. I'll show you. So if you think like this, see the RAM, how it's connected to the motherboard, which means it'll have a faster, it has a direct connection to the motherboard, which means it has a direct access to the CPU. It's a faster connection. There's no latency. There's no lag. If you guys remember, if you do a video call with someone, sometimes it lags, because you're from here and they're from a different place, or even down the road, is because the connection speed, there's a small lag. The lag will be there if it accesses straight from your hard disk or your SSD, but the lag will not be there if it accesses from RAM, because it's very fast. There's a direct connection. It's almost, think of it like this: it has a private highway to the CPU, and CPU and RAM can communicate very, very fast. Okay, that's the reason why anything from the hard disk, any program will take it and load it into the RAM, and you'll use it from the RAM itself. Okay. And some of the common issue is blue screen of error. If your RAM stick gets damaged, sometimes it gets overheated and gets damaged, or sometimes it's a bad stick itself. Blue screen you'll get, freezing you'll get, slow down. The reason why you'll get slow down is, let's say you have, let's think of it like this: you have only three-way highway, right? Let's say a three-car can only pass at the same time. If you send thousands of cars at the same time, you'll slow down, just like how 401 has accident all the time, right? Just like that, RAM can get slowed down too. If you don't have enough RAM in your system, let's say you have only 4 gigs, your system will be definitely slow. But if you put in more RAMs, your system will automatically get fast again. You can put in laptops. You can usually put in 2 RAMs. Newer ones you can't even add in RAM. You can only use whatever it is there. But usually laptops you can put in two additional 2 RAMs altogether. So usually they can upgrade, put another slot in there, right? Or upgrade to a 32, 64, 128 or something like that. But if it's too slow, what you can do is you can actually see from your the same task manager. You can actually use this monitoring tool. There's a tab called memory. Okay. So if you see here, my memory, this is my RAM. Okay. I have 32 gigs of RAM here, which if you see in this thing, it's 0 and 31.7. I'm using like in the 60% mark, you see, or what is it, 40%? I think 40%, 60% mark, which is very good. Which I still have lots of room here to use my stuff. If you see here, which it tells you I have 2 slots. I have 2 memory slots. I have 2 of them full, 2 out of 2. So all 2 slots are taken. Okay. So it tells me also how many how many gigs of it is fully there, and how much I have used. 25 gigs I have used. Okay, out of 34. And you can see, sorry, in use is 13.8 gigs is in use. Okay, and you see available is 17.2 gigs. Okay, that's how you look at RAM. Okay. And let's say if you go into, let me go back to the slides again. Sorry guys, I have to go back and forth, but that's the only way I can explain it properly, and the thing will be better for you. Okay. But yeah, that's how you troubleshoot. Okay. The more you have, the better it is. Obviously, there's a limitation, and usually the limitation you can see from the CPU. If you just search up what is the CPU, so let's say, I'll share this to you again. The CPU will determine how much RAM it will get. Let's say if this is i5 1345U, right? If we go on Google, i5 1345U RAM, we'll see an Intel page here, the first one, okay? Which will tell us a maximum amount of RAM this will accept. There's a maximum that you can't just put an unlimited. There's a maximum, okay? So this one, it'll tell you here, and this will tell you what's the maximum amount of RAM you're taking. Maximum memory size is 96 gigabyte, okay? And it has 2 channels, which means it has 2 slots, okay? So this is how you find out it's 96 gigs, which means I have to put in what is 96 divided by 2. I have to put in a 64 or 60, not 64. I can put it says 48, but I can do 32 and 32, 64 gigs. I can realistically put on it, okay? 94 is a limitation I can put on this computer. That's a maximum I can put on this computer, okay? That's how you look at the limitations of a RAM. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Now the hard disk and SSD, which we talked about. Hard disk is a spinning disk. SSD is a flash storage. It's stored on chip, which is SSD will be a lot faster. Now this is a newer type of SSD. Okay, it's more like it looks like a RAM, but it's SSD. Okay, it looks. I should have a couple of things laying around in here as well, but I don't know where it is. But oh, there it is. So it looks something like this. this is the hard disk too. This is a 256 gigabyte hard, or 512, I think. But this will look like this, okay? It just goes directly into the motherboard. This is very fast. This is very fast than this one you see behind it. This is SSD as well, but this is called NVMe SSD M.2. Okay, but this is called the NVMe SSD M.2. This is how it looks like. This is the newer technology of SSD. It's much more direct connection to the motherboard. Its latency is removed because there's no wire connection anymore. It's directly into the motherboard, but you still need a RAM to work fast. Okay, it's still the catch. Say the what is hard disk and things are used for is to save files, operating system, and apps. Everything gets saved in here. Okay, you cannot use RAM for storage. It's only for temporary access only. Okay, temporary storage. Once you close or reboot your system, everything gets removed. Okay, that's why your storage is very important. It's a permanent storage. Okay, SSD are faster and more reliable. Drives comes in different sizes. Usually it's increments of like the 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 256, 1 TB, 2 TB, 3 TB, like that, okay? But it's increments like that, okay? You cannot just get a 400 gigs or anything like that. It's increments. It works in increments, okay? The common issue you'll face is slow boot, missing files, disk error, clicking noise on an older hard disk. Okay, if the older the spinning ones, you hear clicking noise because it spins, right? Sometimes it just you hear clicking noise, which means it's dead. But you can send it. These older ones you can send in for recovery, data recovery. It is expensive, but it's possible. Whereas SSD, it's just not possible. Okay. Does that make sense, guys? Any questions so far? I know we're covering a lot of grounds here, but I just want to make sure everybody's following along. If not, then we have to cover this again, okay? Because we're gonna have a quiz on this too. So I just want to make sure everybody's following along. If any questions, please unmute yourself and ask.
No question.
Perfect. Very good. Okay, guys. So I'm all done with my day one, which when we go into day two, we'll cover more of the hard drive hardware and everything. And then we go a little bit more into networking and system troubleshooting, like those type of things, okay? But I welcome you guys to ask any questions that you guys have for this for this class, first class, and anything that I can do to make sure to answer any of your questions regarding this. Please feel free to unmute yourself. You can raise your hands and ask, or you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir.
Hey.
Actually, I want to ask that, like, so after we are comparing the we are
I can
trying to.
barely hear you, brother.
Hello.
Yeah, I can barely hear you.
You can hear.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, but actually, what I'm trying to ask is, after completing this course, when we are trying to apply for a job, then are we getting job in a GT area, or we need to relocate any other province or any other area?
No. So our focus, so if our focus is mainly in the Ontario, so usually GTA area, right? We don't go in the north or anything like that. But we work with a lot of vendors across Toronto, Markham, Richmond Hill, Brampton, Mississauga, some in the Oshawa and in the east side, but predominantly in that the main Toronto, Mississauga, the belt over there. It's the most amount of job market there. Brampton, Mississauga, Toronto, Markham, those area.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question, guys?
One more question, sir.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, actually, you were telling in starting of the classes, like our fee is going to be 375 or 500.
No. It's right now the price has been reduced to 350. Okay. $350.
350, right?
Yeah, 350.
For 3 months.
For it's it'll become 1,050. It's 350 per month. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It's only for the first 10 students. Okay. We can't do it for everyone, but it's only for the first 10 students. And I'll put the. You can either send a e-transfer to start, and I'll send you the form for registration. As long as you guys don't have any criminal background, which nobody did, uh, you guys can join the course. It's because the most job places right now, everybody wants someone with no criminal background, right? It just if it's a small traffic violation, it's okay, but no drunk or drive or anything that cannot be in your in your records. It's just big no no right now, right? So it's um it's very thing. Okay.
So when are you going to send that Interact ID?
I have it on up on the screen right now. If you want, if you guys can, yeah, you guys can take a screenshot or something like that. It's payment. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just say. I think it's payment. I completely forgot. Just give me 1 second here. I believe it is payment. I don't know if it's payments. That's why I just want to make sure. Just give me 1 second. Because a lot of people pay through credit card. But if you guys want to pay through credit card, you guys can. But there's I think a 5 or 7% fee for it. I think because of the credit card fees. It just it's unnecessary for you guys to think. But if you guys do need to make a payment through credit card, I can send you over the payment link as well.
So this is the link which you are presenting right now, right?
Yeah. This is the one payment at ctechtraining.ca. This is the e-transfer email. Okay. Which I'll be also sending you guys an email just as we speak right now, everyone. Just so you guys can check your emails. Whatever you guys use to register the email, I'll send it to. Okay, I'll be sending the emails very shortly. Okay, with the transfer with the email as well, just in case if you guys need it. And then once you guys do, I ask that just send me a screenshot of through email or through WhatsApp as well. Whichever one is easy for you guys. Six. And just so because you guys all participated in the class, everybody will be getting the recording of the class as well through email. Okay. Perfect. It's been sent over to you guys through email, so you guys should be able to get the email from there. And the e-transfer should have also an auto deposit there as well. Okay. Once you guys send it, send me a screenshot. I'll send you guys an official invoice. Okay. All right, guys. If any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Not a problem at all. Okay. And I want to hear your feedback on how was today's class. And every class I do this is I want everybody to interact. Everybody needs to interact with this. Is just so I want to see what you guys have learned, what you guys think about this today's class. You guys can unmute one by one. You guys can unmute. I'll start with Jagdeep.
Um, Hi, sir.
Hey,
It was a nice class. Good to know about the exposure for the entry level in IT department, and just looking for the new on hand-on practice, and for
yep,
looking for that one, so that get the real world scenario during
yes,
the courses and easy to enter into a job for the IT field for that one.
yeah, and
And
yeah, go on. Sorry, go on.
yeah, yeah, for that one. That's all.
Very good. Yeah,
And
and
thank you so
usually,
much.
yeah, no problem, man. And usually, what we do is when we start these courses, is a lot of people come with no knowledge whatsoever, right? And they're so afraid, and they think that cloud is very hard, this is very hard. But then because we inch so little by little, and every class you have very good interaction, we very good, you get comfortable, and the learning becomes a fun. And then once you do hands-on, because we have explained everything, learning and hands-on, it becomes very easy for you. And it's okay if you make a mistake because we're here, right, to help you. And because I like the scenario where we give you challenge, and how I say the class is run is, let's say you're not sure of something, right? You can I will never answer back to you if you say I just don't like I don't I never I can't do it or something like that. I tell you try, and I ask you what have you tried? What are some of the things you have done, right? So you have to do your digging around to before you reach out for help, because let's say in a department everybody has to work, right? Nobody has the time to teach you specifically every single time. But if you go and see like, hey, I know I'm supposed to create this account, I have done research about this is how I'm supposed to do it. Can you see if this is right? That's a different approach than asking, I don't know how to do this, can you help me? This is more open-ended. This is more you have done your effort, you're just verifying, or you're not sure you went in the right direction. And usually I don't like giving anyone direct answer. I will point you to the right direction. You go and search and you try to find it, right? That way you have it's a painful process, but at the end of the painful process, your learning level is very high. That is a methodology I use. And this is a methodology they use in the military as well. That's all.
But I hear you will ready to go for the painful process for that one.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
the correct one.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Very good, man. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I have Subham. I'm so sorry. I think I'm pronouncing your name incorrect. I don't have my glasses today. It's later on, so that's why Shaban. I think.
Hello.
Hey, yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. I actually like the way you clarified all of our doubts.
Mhm.
And like today's session was like I think like a little bit easy to understand
Yeah.
because I have some background in IT, but I think
Mhm.
it will get more challenging and interesting as we move ahead. Also, like this position is very like situational, right? Because all the problems just come on like on a
Yes.
random basis. Like you don't know what is going to
Yeah.
happen today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is like pretty motivating and challenging. Also, I also like the example of the hospital because
Mhm.
any delay could like affect lives. It could be a matter of life and death. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. And yeah, as you said, man, it's 100% right what you said. Is we can only cover maybe 40-60% scenarios here, right? The other scenarios you have to think on spot. The how we teach is like this. The assignments are, so when we do class activity, they're about 40 to 60%. The assignment goes up to 100%. So there is still level of research you have to do, which is a painful process. Which is called biting the bullet, right? So which once you start biting the bullet very often, you'll start to see a trend is everything is you can find everything if you're looking for it, right? If you don't look for it, you can't find anything, even if it's right in front of your eyes. That is what we like to teach here
Mm,
is you have to look for it, you have to do some research, and everything becomes very straightforward, because with the advancement of AI, with advancement of Azure or documentation, pretty much all the issues are online. You can figure out the answer, but you just have to look. That's all. And you have to look in the right way, which is the training will give you the proper way. It's you have to understand the basics, what you're looking for, right? You can't. How I like to do is when I do exams at schools, is when I used to teach is in schools, is I like to have the exams open book. I don't care if you cheat, because the principle is you can only cheat if you understand what you're trying to look for. If you don't know how to build a rocket launcher, the chemical components of it, what are you going to search how to 4 hours? You can't search up for how to build a rocket. If you know the chemical component, you can see, okay, this is the chemical component need to launch it, right? So it's if you want to look for the right things, you get the right answer, which is what we try to teach you in the 40 to 60%. It's what you need to look for. because you understand the basics of it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, very, very good. Thank you.
Also, sir, another question. Actually, I would like to pay by credit card. So
Yeah,
if you could send the link or something.
yeah. Give me just can you what is your can you post me your number in the chat if you can? What I'll do is, or do you have the WhatsApp? Are you on the WhatsApp group?
Yes, yes, I've joined it.
Okay, perfect. Now give me 1 second. I'll send you the link to the WhatsApp group itself, which I think I sent to groups.
Also, sir, another thing is like
Mhm.
as we have been like growing up, right? So many times we had to fix problems at home,
Yeah.
like the Wi-Fi is not working, or
Mhm.
especially our parents and our grandparents,
Oh
like
yeah.
they don't know how to use phones and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's kind of fun, like for all that troubleshooting and everything, I would also be getting paid like as a career. So that is also something to look forward to.
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. That's a good way of looking at it too, right? So, um, okay, give me 1 second. Copy. Okay, so in the chat here, I have put in the link to join the thing, but I'll share this screen as well with you guys. You guys can just share the. You guys can just scan the QR code here, and it should ask you to join the group. You guys scan this. This should take you to the group. And I'll post the and I'll send the email with the I'll send an email too. But if you guys want a thing here, I can. I'll send out the group and I'll send you guys by email as well, just in case if you guys want to make it by credit card. By credit card, there's just a 7% fee, I believe. It's just for the credit card processing fee.
Yes, sir, that is okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Just sorry to interrupt. My
No, no,
phone
go
is
ahead.
getting like it will be dead within 2 5 minutes. So
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to
go.
ask that, have you received my invite? I've
Uh,
sent it a screenshot
give
to you.
me 1 second. Perfect, man. Got it. And I'll just ask you to send me the. I'll send you like a thing I need for registration, like your first name, your day, your date of birth, and some like your registration information. I'll send it to you over text right now in a bit. And just reply to me. That I'll create an invoice and I'll send it to you, okay? For registration.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay. So I have next is what do I have next? So Ezekiel, how was the class today? I want to ask you from you, man. How was the learning today? What is there something new you learned?
Fantastic, sir.
Mhm.
I love the way you break all the concepts down for us to understand. But I think I have a multiple question,
Go ahead. Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just kind of hard for me to like break it down.
Mhm.
Like for someone to succeed in this field,
Mhm.
what are the traits like? What are the traits do I need to have for me to be like to be able to like get job after this course, after this program?
Mhm. Okay, let me answer the question first. Okay, so that's a very good question, actually. So some of the traits that I seen from the successful people in my past, people like even from corporate environment when I start teaching as well, right? One is hunger to learn. That's very important, and respect is one. Hunger to learn, respect is one, and also have a discipline. Discipline meaning not just showing up in class, but when there's assignment given, asking question. Maybe you might think it's a silly question or you might not ask it properly, but opening the scenario and talking freely about it, right, is a trait. And also the second trait is customer service, man. I always say you can be highly technical, but if you have zero customer service skill, you'll never become successful at it. I would rather train someone who has the customer service, like meaning very pleasant customer service orientation. They want to help customer and they're eager to learn. It's much more easy to train than someone arrogant and has so much knowledge. They'll never grow and they'll never fit into a team ever. It's very hard to train those people, and once you have this, so I think if I bring in a bad person into a team, the whole team will be bad itself, because the one rotten apple can ruin the whole bag, right? So that's the analogy we use. It's just right person, just having that love for customer service along with curiosity to learn, which will get you into the career, man, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is communication skills are very important
Yes.
skills in this field. What about somebody that doesn't like to talk? Like that I don't want to be dealing with people every time. Can that kind of a person like go into this
Yeah.
career?
That's a very good question, Ezekiel. So I'll tell you some scenarios. We did have a lot of people like this, right? The first 2 years, you have to do customer service skills, man. There's no, I'll tell you right now, there's no easy way, okay? The first 2 years, you have to dedicate yourself for customer. You might not like it, but it is what it is. You might have to bite the bullet to just go further. But once you go into the system admin or network admin round, your interactions with customer will be less. It's because now you're dealing with level one technicians to relay information, and you're getting information from level one technician as well, right? Level two technicians. But once you go in the system admin, network admin, the interaction with customer will go down significantly more.
Presently, I work with UPS and I spoke with them about going into IT, but they
Mhm.
want me to have to have a degree
Mhm.
to get into their IT. But is degree actually important? Like, do I need to get a degree to get an entry level job?
So, Ezekiel, just want to make sure everybody understands. Can you just say what is CPS is? What you mentioned? Is it Canadian Patrol Services, Border Patrol Services?
What?
CPS. When you mean
No,
CPS?
UPS,
Oh,
UPS.
UPS. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you meant the Canadian Border Patrol Services.
No, no,
Okay, okay,
UPS.
okay. UPS. So for IT, degree is not important. Okay, we've hired over 70, 80 people myself with no degree. The reason is because if you take a degree or a diploma, right? If you put it into the wage scale, it tells people you have dedicated yourself to complete a 4 year, 3 years, 2 years studies, right? But it does not say you have specific certifications, which is specialization, right? Specialization means you can be specialized in Microsoft Azure, you can be specialized in CompTIA Security Plus, you can be specialized in Azure, you can be specialized in all aspects. You have to have a degree or a diploma, whichever one is fine, but you need to have a certification that supports it, right, to go further. Degree is very important when you go into the managerial role, or when you go into the more of a director or a manager or vice president type of role, and it's more of financial degree than IT degree itself. Are they specialized in IT degree? But for me, I always considered like for the entry level, you don't need a degree. A diploma is fine, but a certification is very important. A specific certifications.
Thank you so much.
No
And
worries.
last question.
Mm.
Which of the certification are we going to do or get at the end of the program?
So when you complete this course, you get from CTech Training Center is completion of IT Help Desk Analyst Training Program, right? But we suggest that because based on the recommendation from the recruitment agencies who we work with, they'll tell you guys to do certifications. It could be the Microsoft certification, GCP certifications, or AWS certification, either or. But right now, Microsoft certifications are more valued. Okay, we'll tell you usually within 3 to 4 weeks what you should be start getting studying up to. We'll give you all the materials and everything. You don't have to pay for study materials. You just have to pay for the certifications. Usually the certifications are $100 each. We tell you two. Two is more than enough.
Okay, thank you. And this
No problem.
program is for 3 months, right?
3 months, yes. Every Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you so much.
no
Yeah.
problem. And 3 months, just take that with a pinch of salt. It would be sometimes more than 3 months, but it would be never less than 3 months. Okay. As I said, sometimes I don't want to complete the course for sake of okay, I need to get this done in 12 weeks. Let's say we need to cover this right now today, and that's we're done. I don't want to do that type of thing, right? Some lessons might go over than what we planned. And that's the reason why I said 12 to 14 weeks, just in case. You will not be charged for anything if you go beyond 12. That's fine, but I want to make sure everybody completely understands all the subjects, okay, before we move on. Each one of those modules. That's why. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sir, I have sent the request to join the WhatsApp group.
Oh, did you? Sorry, my apologies. My phone is on silent. That's the reason why. Give me 1 second. Okay. You should be able to automatically join. Is it? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, I see. Okay, my apologies, guys. I don't know why because I have another staff that set it up. I think I don't. Sometimes I. Okay, perfect. Everybody's at it now. Okay, I'll add the the payment link very soon. Okay, the credit card payment links in the group. It's off, and I'll send an email too just in case. Yeah, go ahead, Jagdeep Singh.
Sir, I just interacted you. Please confirm that one.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Yeah, perfect, man. Got it. Yes, very good. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir.
I'll ask you for the same information. I'll send it to you guys, or send you guys individually like the things I need to register you guys. And once the registration completed, I'll send you guys the invoice. Hopefully, I'll ask the information today, fill it out, and it's just a bit of a process for me. I'll do it tomorrow morning and send it to you before end of day tomorrow for you guys. Okay,
Okay.
confirmation of registration.
Okay, sure, sir.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you. Okay, perfect, guys. Thank you so much. I'll send over the payment link through email too for anyone. And once this class recording is done, it'll take about 2 to 3 hours for me to get the recording from the cloud itself. And I'll upload it to YouTube, and I'll give you guys a link to go ahead and access it. Okay, if you guys need to see it again, to see it. Okay. I really appreciate all you guys taking the time to join, and I welcome all you guys on board, whoever made the payment, and we'll wait for the payments to come in. And I usually ask to complete the payment before next week Monday, just so we have all the people in and all the paperwork done. Okay. Usually we don't take people in after the before 1 day before the class starts, so it creates a lot of confusion. Okay, that's the reason why. But anyways, I'll see you guys on Wednesday next week. I hope all the best, and I'm very excited for this batch. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good
Thank you.
night.
Have a wonderful day.
Same
Have a
here.
wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Take care.